And Iran is over due to Iran's strikes on vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and the U.S. retaliating. President Trump also speaking with Ukraine's President Zelensky about the ongoing war with Russia. ABC's Selena Wang has more.
Zelensky was there. He sat face-to-face with President Trump. The president did make a commitment to help Ukraine make these Patriot air defense missiles, something that Zelensky has repeatedly been asking for. But it really appears that the Iran war has overshadowed a lot of this summit.
A recent analysis by Georgetown University showing many Americans relying on the Affordable Care Act have seen their costs double, sometimes triple. Public filings show 77 insurers with Obamacare are proposing a year of increased premiums. A judge spared former Wisconsin judge Hannah Dugan from prison for ushering a Mexican defendant out of her courtroom to evade ICE agents during an immigration operation. This is ABC News. In Texas, a bizarre situation in Harris County unfolded involving a child who was inside a home and apparently injured by lightning.
It's always been kind of understood that if you're inside of your home, you're safe from lightning because a home is grounded. But an investigation is underway after a child was injured in his family's home in Harris County, Texas. The home, deputies say, was hit by lightning and an electrical current went surging through the home's wiring and electrocuted the homeowner's son, who was using a computer inside the home. They say the child was evaluated by EMS. His condition is not known. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Extreme heat still baking parts of the southeast, along with dangerous humidity. Extreme heat warnings stretching from Virginia to Miami, Florida, where triple-digit temperatures are hitting. The most dangerous part of the heat wave set for tomorrow through the weekend due to compounding effects of the hot days and hot nights. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
2 early morning homicides, 1 person of interest. We'll tell you about the man Pierce County authorities are looking for. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. 405 southbound at SR 167. We've got a crash blocking the right lane. Also road work on SR 16 both directions near Highway 410, and that stretches to about the Pierce-King County line. State ferries, the Mukilteo-Clinton route, both vessels running about 20 minutes behind schedule right now. This traffic report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Frank Lindsay. Pierce County deputies looking for a man who they call armed and dangerous in connection with 2 homicides early this morning. A 35-year-old man was found dead in a home near 125th and Woodland Avenue East in Puyallup around 2:40.
Sheriff's office, anybody inside, make yourself known.
What's it, Jeff?
Then about 3 a.m., another man was found shot to death near 69th and D Street in Tacoma. Person deputies are looking for 24-year-old Hayes McLeod. He's described as Native American, about 5'8", 115 pounds. It's believed to be driving a silver 1996 Toyota 4Runner with Washington plates CWW 5132. Sheriff's office says if you spot him, don't approach him. Just call 911. His picture is up at mynorthwest.com. A 14-year-old boy is dead after what police say was a tragic electric bike accident in Seattle. Investigators say the teen lost control riding down a steep staircase at Colonnade Park, popular mountain bike course underneath I-5 in the Eastlake neighborhood. This morning, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey was at the park where the boy died, and he's going to join Jake and Spike in just a few minutes. Family and friends remembering a teen killed in a crash in Cedro Woolley on the 4th of July. Noah Morrow tells KIRO 7, 19-year-old Anahi Mendoza, he tried to save her after a driver hit her.
It is devastating. It truly is, for her family, for her friends, for everybody who knew her.
Her uncle says Mendoza was selling fireworks to help pay for a cross-country trip. Suspect later arrested and is now facing vehicular homicide and other charges. The goal? Lower gas prices across the state of Washington. Senate Republicans are asking Governor Ferguson to call a special legislative session. And if that happens, then they'll try to convince Democrats to temporarily pause the state gas tax. This is Republican Senator Jeff Wilson.
These are really tough times for just about everybody in the state of Washington when it comes to providing for their families and just getting around with their day-to-day lives.
The state's gas tax adds about 60 cents a gallon. That's part of the state's Climate Commitment Act, meant to reduce carbon emissions. AAA says the average price for a gallon of gas in our state right now is $5, We have reached out to state Democrats and the governor for comment. In sports, Miami Marlins beat the Mariners 6-5 last night. Two teams square off again this afternoon at 3:40. You can catch that game on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. KIRO News Radio weather, cloudy today, 73 degrees, and more clouds tomorrow morning, but by afternoon, mostly sunny skies with a high of 75. Friday, some clouds and sunshine mixed and a high of 73. Same deal on Saturday, maybe a little drizzle in the morning too. Right now, it is 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Jake Skorheim sitting alongside Spike O'Neill. Welcome to the show, Spike.
Thank you, my friend. Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday to you. We got a lot of stuff coming up on the show today. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. We got a great guest coming in at 2 p.m. He's going to be live in studio. We'll tell you what that is in just a couple minutes. I'll tell you this. He's in law enforcement, and he's responding to Katie Wilson shutting off those stadium cams immediately after World Cup. So we will get into that at 2 o'clock. We'll talk about it in just a couple minutes. There is also something else new that we're doing. We're doing Question of the Day every day.
Yes, we are.
We're going to get to the Question of the Day after we get our first topic going, but it is a good one, and I think a lot of people are going to have opinions on this. So you can hit us up at 888-973-5476 to answer that. Many, many things, starting right off with Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio reporter. Luke, I wish you were here for a happier story. This is a depressing, awful story. But as a parent, when I heard this news early this morning, and I shuddered because this could be any kid now that I see on one of these things. We're talking about e-bikes. This horrible accident that happened on an e-bike.
Yeah, just tragic. And you know, this is a topic that we've been talking about on the news side of things for a long time because it's been the topic of state legislators this past legislative session trying to pass a law, and they did that pertain to certain e-bikes that are of a certain kind of muscle and speed that are considered motorcycles now. And we always thought, and we talked about it in the newsroom, that we obviously do not want to ever cover a story like this, but we wonder if we ever will. And now here we are. A 14-year-old boy is died in Seattle after crashing on an e-bike.
And this is a stone's throw from the studio that we're in right now. We are located in Eastlake, and we are just a short walk up the hill to this mountain bike park that's underneath I-5 that a lot of people might know about.
Yeah, it's closer to the station than Lake Union is. Yeah. That's how close we are. You can hear emergency vehicle responses to this tragedy today.
Yeah, right in our backyard. Happened yesterday. A Colonnade Park is the name of the park. And I think a lot of our listeners have seen it. You're just looking down I-5, in traffic right before you get to the Ship Canal Bridge there, and you see that mountain bike path in there. Well, there's a set of stairs that goes straight down through the park as well. And I walked over there a little bit ago and checked out the scene and took video, and we're putting together another story on that. But and I saw the blood on the concrete landing there, the medical swabs left behind, the red and yellow police tape that's still stuffed in the trash can there.
When was this? What time did this happen?
Yeah, the exact time I'm not sure exactly, but it was yesterday in the afternoon. I ran into one person who kind of commutes through there every day and said, yeah, this place was all closed down, and no one really knew what happened. And I started kind of letting people know, a 14-year-old passed away here because of this bike accident, and people were just shocked.
So he was on an e-bike. This was not an e-scooter. There are two different types of these. You see them everywhere. There's either the e-bike version or there's a scooter. I was wondering initially, it doesn't sound like it from the report, and you may know more on this now, but I was wondering initially if these was one of those Lime bikes that you see everywhere, but it doesn't sound like it was. It sounds like it might have been a personal bike that he may have owned, or somebody he knew owned it.
Yeah, not sure if it was a Lime bike.
There's no confirmation of that, but I think the fact that
based on the tire size that they described,
the young man was wearing a helmet. First off, right there, that kind of lets you know it was probably not a rental bike, because they don't come with helmets, even though they require them for rental.
They say they're required.
But don't wear them.
But you check a little waiver saying that you've got something,
or it won't start.
But it certainly is not checking and verifying that you actually have a helmet on.
Not at all. And the fact that the kid was, such a horrible tragedy. The child was wearing a helmet and was, this was it's hard to say what type of bike it was, because the young man was going downstairs. and struck an obstacle at the bottom of lost control of his e-bike and struck an obstacle, which led to his death. I mean, we're talking. We're going to ask the question. We've talked about laws that are being put in place, reviews and studies that are being done. This is kind of a tragedy that no law would have prevented this. This was just, bad judgment, a horrible accident, and accidents do happen. We can make laws to make these situations much more scarce.
Yeah,
and we should. And we can make laws to make parental responsibility, maybe even accountability, more involved in these cases.
But I hear what you're saying. I think I know what you're getting at, which is that we don't. I'm not of the mind that we should be passing so many laws that then infringe on what parents are deciding to do with their kids. So what I would say is, the question we have of the day today is, would you let your kids get one of these e-scooters or e-bikes? And when these initially came out, when these first came onto the scene, I remember seeing them and it felt way more innocent because I don't think kids had truly explored the range. They have long ranges. You can go miles and miles and miles away from home.
Yeah.
On a classic bike that I grew up riding or a scooter, that's leg power, and you're not doing that.
Sure. And
you're certainly not going at the speeds that some of these can get up to.
Yeah, these are sometimes 28 miles an hour is the cap on some of these models.
Well, even in excess of that. There's ones that are even faster, which is now the ones they're trying to make illegal or have made illegal. So you can't ride them on the on paths. Those are technically motorcycles.
Which need to be licensed and trained to ride.
But here's my question today for people out there. Would you let your kids get one of these e-scooters or e-bikes? 888-973-5476. We're going to get back into that at 1:30. We'll answer some of your questions. But Luke, can you tell us a little bit more about the situation? I mean, when you went up there, did you find out, was this a big group of kids? Because oftentimes you see, they're like, I don't want to paint, the situation ended horribly, and I don't want to paint them as being ne'er-do-well kids. They were probably just kids riding around having fun, doing what any of us would have done on bikes. But we have done news stories recently about kids who are, riding through streets and not observing traffic road laws and things like that. Was this a bunch of kids together? What do you know about that, if anything?
Unclear is right now with that investigation. But let me answer it a different way. We were talking about it earlier this morning, and would 14-year-old Luke Ducey be out there on a bike with or without his friends? Probably with his friends, more likely. Goading me to go down I would be right there.
I would be doing it. All of us were there.
Those bikes are so much more heavy than a regular manual bike, e-bikes that, there was a recent study that found, I don't think this will surprise anyone, the risk of electric bicycle injuries, especially internal injuries, are more than double than manual bikes because of the weight of these. I did find a Lime bike at that scene kind of up away from it. I don't think, or I don't know if it was the actual bike that was used. I don't think it was. But, I did see scratches on it, all on the handlebars. So obviously these things go through and get, they fall down and they get scraped up and they get banged
injuries
around.
From rental bikes are through the roof.
Yeah, totally. And not only that, there is new video that has just surfaced from Auburn PD. They released this. It was from a dash cam of a car, of someone who was driving, then handed the video over. There's this person driving through Auburn, and they're, to your point, Jake, they're a group of kids. They look to be kids on these e-scooters just zipping through an intersection as fast as they can go against the red light. This person has a green light. There's a red light. They're coming the other way. Thank goodness this person slowed down and saw them. And you can see them kind of go over across the yellow line at a really low speed to go around one of them because these kids are just zipping through that red light. That's happening more and more. And another point here is that, a lot of parents are letting their kids have these e-bikes for whatever reason. Maybe it's peer pressure because they want them to have a bike just like everyone else. But 14 years old, you're too young to be licensed. But not only just licensed, to go through driver's ed.
And just cognitively, you're not making those decisions.
And also to understand what could happen.
There's a lack of necessary maturity to operate these safely.
Following of the rules of the road.
The thing that's this is just an awful story that this kid died from this. And at the same time as we're all talking about it, we're all guys. We all remember being that age and doing crazy stuff. Absolutely all of us would have done the same thing. There before the grace of God go I, and we would have. There's no chance if I was a big group of friends at 14 and one of them said, hey, we should try taking the stairs. I rode downstairs all the time. Like X Games and all that stuff when we were kids, especially when we were younger. That was like.
See this scar right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, bike downstairs into a fence.
You probably took over the handlebars?
over.
And you didn't have a helmet, did you?
Hell
Because
no,
back
I didn't
then,
have shoes on. I was a moron.
yeah, back then we didn't have helmets. I can't remember how many times that I put my feet on the spokes of my BMX bike, and get it stuck and flip over and smash my head into the pavement.
Standing on pegs. We'd ride around like my brother would ride on my brother had a really cool BMX bike. And with pegs on the back. And I would ride those back pegs with no kidding. But I would ride it all the time, like barefoot. And I just like hang on, and he would be riding, and we'd be cruising around.
Yeah, but
we didn't have the power and the speed that these have.
That's the difference today.
You know, when I was at the scene there, and it shouldn't have surprised me because we see e-bikes all the time. I mean, they do have a function, a great function for people who want zipping by going to work.
We're the number one e-bike city in America.
Totally. And there were a bunch of e-bikes going by me, but it kind of hit me as I was taking video because if you're watching on the YouTube, you know, you get someone in the frame of the video and you keep them in video when they're going right past you. You know, you have to kind of move your camera left to right, of course. But I was like, oh my gosh, I had to keep up with this person, and I was zipping my camera across. They were going. I mean, they were doing at least faster than some of the cars on that road, which is 25 miles an hour.
I mentioned, parental responsibility and accountability, and you're right. I'm not about slapping laws everywhere because, like we said, a law wouldn't have prevented today's tragedy or last night's tragedy. But there's a parental responsibility. You know, these kids that are zipping through red lights on these scooters. If your parents hasn't spoken to you, look, if you're going to ride these things, don't make the tragic bad judgment decision to put your life at risk. There's just too many chances on these things, too much power, too much danger. Drivers today aren't acclimated to the evolving the presence of these modes of transportation for even kids all through traffic everywhere you go.
Probably all of us have been driving on the road and seeing these kids whipping by us in the opposing lanes, or maybe cutting into the lane that we're driving in.
Popping wheelies. It happens. I see it 10 times a day on my drive home from work, especially when I get into the suburb area where all the neighborhoods are. These are everywhere, and the kids are cutting across roads, and because they have access to quick, they got a lot of torque, just like any electric vehicle does, and they can get up to speed very quickly. And so they think, oh, I'm on par with these vehicles, except these kids weigh 200 pounds plus whatever 70 pound the kid weighs. So 270 pounds. You're up against vehicles that weigh 3 tons.
Right.
And it's just, you're a complete afterthought. The vehicles can't see you because they're expecting to see large vehicles in the road.
Right.
And these kids end up getting in dangerous situations because, again, none of them are licensed. They don't know any of the rules. And I'm not blaming the kids. I agree with you. It's more of the parents. I'm not blaming the parents in this case.
No. Again,
God forbid anything like this happens.
This kid was wearing a helmet. Although the police spokesperson, Brian Pritchard, did say that while the young man had a bicycle helmet on, he should have been wearing a motorcycle helmet given the power of this particular e-bike that was involved in this accident.
Yeah, and this Colonnade Park is also the scene of berms and jumps for mountain bikes. And at the top of the hill there, the entrance to the park, there is a sign there that says, "Hey, this is a great park for this and this and this, but please wear a helmet and body armor as well for if you're a mountain biker going through these areas." But yeah, you look at downhill mountain bikes; they don't wear bike helmets; they wear big,
full face motorcycle helmets,
motorcycle helmets, and
spine
protectors.
Yes,
and end devices that kind of like a Hans device, like a race car driver. I've seen these designed to, if you have a hellacious, out of control, crazy crash, that your collarbones will break instead of your neck.
Oh my gosh.
So you're taking the impact there rather than being paralyzed or death.
So the question of the day: would you let your kids get one of these e-scooters or e-bikes? They're legal. You can buy them.
Yeah.
But we just recently had this conversation with my oldest, who's 11. He's got a summer job. He's working for Grandma and Grandpa. He's making some money, and he has informed us that at the end of the summer, originally he wanted to buy a Lego set, but hopefully I talked him out of that. Now I'm wishing that he'll go back to Lego set. He said he wants to buy an e-bike. He's showing me pictures of the one that he wants, and my wife and I looked at each other. We're like, there's just no way. There's no way we're letting him get one of these.
Is it an entry-level e-bike, at least? One of the lesser-powered, pedal-assisted type e-bikes?
No, it's like one of those ones that you see on the road all the time, and it's not happening. And my
Yeah.
wife's like, well, what if he only rides it at Grandma and Grandpa's because they have property and they could just be out there like he would on a dirt bike? That's a different conversation if it only stays there. The problem is that's what a lot of parents are doing. They think they're buying them, and the kids are going to stay in safe areas, and then the kids venture off and do stupid things. It's the same thing I did.
Yeah, we all did it as kids, but I think there's a naivete of parents not really knowing what a dangerous toy that they're putting their kids on top of when they get out here.
It's even easier on the e-bikes because when I was a kid, I rode dirt bikes. And my parents said, you can't ride this on public roads. It's not legal.
Right.
You don't have a license. You can't do it. And I said, I swore up and down, of course. I would never ride on a public road, Mom and Dad. What do you think I did? First thing I did when I got the chance is I went out there. Once I felt confident on it, I wasn't trying to be a bad kid, but you're 14 years old, and you're out there with your friends, and you think it's an abandoned road or whatever, and then you find yourself riding down a road and then another road, and before you know it, you're getting pretty comfortable riding on these roads.
Exactly.
But on a dirt bike, at least I was afraid that, like, oh, if I do this too much, somebody's going to hear the noise like that ring, and they're going to come and get me. On an e-bike, you are silent. You're just cruising
that's another
around.
factor in what makes it more unsafe because cars don't know you're there.
Cars can't hear you. All of that.
And a lot of, young teenagers, I would think most of them, because, I don't know, maybe some get training, but, like if you're riding a motorcycle, you're going to go through training. You ride a motorcycle, you're supposed to stay.
I've been 30 years.
Yeah, you're supposed to stay in on one side of the car so they can see you, you can see them.
Avoid blind spots.
Yeah, those kinds of things.
When you take a motorcycle training class to get your motorcycle license, there's a course requirement. You mentioned, Jake, about how these bikes are going up against 2-3 ton vehicles.
Sure.
We think about that on a Harley. I've been riding for 30 years, and I'm going to lose a fight with anything that we call them a cage. Any car, any truck. I'm losing that fight.
Yeah.
Now imagine you're a 14-year-old with tank top and shorts on, and I'm wearing leathers.
Sure.
I'm wearing a helmet. I got.
You're on one of the loudest vehicles imaginable.
The loudest, right? There's a sticker on my helmet. Loud pipes save lives.
It's true.
It's true. You want drivers to hear you before they see you because they got blind spots.
Yeah.
And these kids are so unaware of the dangers of the rules of safe usage, and we're putting these kids on e-bikes that are akin to motorcycles that are on public roadways competing with vehicles for space and for safety, and it's a recipe for disaster. And we had it yesterday.
And now we have heard these stories of just in the past few weeks there were deaths in 2 different states across the country. Teenagers on e-bikes. We had the issue of there was a teenager who was in critical condition after colliding with a vehicle in Kirkland not too long ago.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
And you read about these things happening other places, and now tragically we have a child dead in a Seattle park.
It feels
after riding an e-bike.
It does feel like the conversation on these is turning a little bit. It's like you adopt things early, and then you realize like some of the a bunch of the flavored what are the vapes that people used to do all the time? And then they're like, you know what? It looks like a lot of kids are kind of using these things because kids are misusing them.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't flavor them as Tutti Frutti and Bubble Yum.
Yeah,
right.
And then or parents step in and they finally recognize, they go, yeah, this is not a good thing. So we start to veer away from some of those things. Yes. E-bikes are just like coming to us from China or wherever they're coming from, and nobody's even asking questions about them. But now we're seeing, the repercussions.
And the market demand for these means that there are newer, faster, stronger, bigger, more ballsy editions coming out daily.
They're all designed to look like motorcycles. Yeah. They don't look like bikes anymore. They look like dirt bikes. That's what they look like to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're very sorry that this happens. Awful story. Obviously our prayers go out to the family of this kid. So sad. I saw a text from somebody who lives nearby, and they heard this commotion yesterday. And on top of all of this craziness, they were saying that I guess there's a kind of an encampment nearby there, and that was like riled up into manic episodes because of all the emergency vehicle response, which they were not happy about, and just like kind of the craziness of the atmosphere. Oh. So then you have the fire department, you have the police officers who are also trying to deal with that, and then local people are having to call the cops because that noise doesn't rile down for like all night. I mean, this whole situation was just a nightmare. It's just one of those very sad stories. Fortunately, we had to cover it, but hopefully somebody listening thinks twice about one of these e-bikes, or at least, gets really specific when you're talking to your kids about how you use them.
Know what you're doing. Take some responsibility and accountability for what you're letting your kid do for fun. And all kids are going to want it. You're right. They're all going to want this. Every kid's going to want to be a part of this world.
There you go.
Yeah, we would do it too.
Luke Ducey, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it, man. All right, coming up next, speaking of parenting, this is an interesting one. State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Chris Reichdahl, was on the Gene Ursula show.
Yeah.
And he's proposing something new that he wants as a requirement for high school graduates in the state. Mm-hmm. Spike has some thoughts on it. We will get back to that with some audio when we come back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, afternoons 2 to 7.
So the places that you want to be throughout the entire year. You want to be in Vermont for the fall. You want to be in Washington, D.C. for the cherry blossoms. And then you want to be in Seattle for about 6 weeks to enjoy a summer that you will tell everyone is the most beautiful place in the world to be. For the World Cup happening right here, it's perfect.
The John Curley Show. Subscribe to KIRO News Radio on YouTube and watch live or later.
It might not look like summer today. Well, it looks like summer in Seattle, gray, a little overcast, a little cooler. But summer is here, and you want to know that your home is ready for summer. Is your insulation up to speed? Did your roof survive the rainy winter of Seattle? You should call my friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction and schedule a free roof assessment, free video inspection today. 206-202-ROOF is the number, 206-202-ROOF. They can check out where you're at, what you need. They do full restoration, repairs, replacements. They can do it all. Check them out online, integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
All right, I'm so excited to be talking with Phil Mitchell. He's a new advertiser to the show. He owns Sunset Auto Family. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Jake.
You guys offer something that I think is so valuable. We have so many listeners in our audience who are business owners and a lot of people who are driving commercial vehicles. You guys are basically like a perfect silent partner because you offer repairs for life on these commercial vehicles. Tell me about that.
Well, basically, repairs for life means any vehicle that we repair for over $250, we're going to cover that repair for as long as you own the vehicle. So if you got a commercial fleet and you put a transmission in your 250,000-mile truck, we're going to cover that for life.
And you think about the value added there for a small business owner who is trying to stretch every single mile out of these vehicles.
You don't even have to buy the vehicle from us to get the repairs for life. Basically, we want to service your entire fleet. So if you bought your fleet from somewhere else, let us service it. We'll give you repairs for life. We're going to save you thousands.
Love it. Only at Sunset Ford and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg that the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure, though, because now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and did you know that there's a place you can go to find out everything you've ever wanted to know about DUI but were afraid to ask? That's right, DUI Heroes has its own YouTube channel at DUI Heroes where you can find the DUI Q&A, 36 separate videos with free information about what happens during a DUI arrest. Be informed. You can fight back. Give us a call at 1-800-DUI-HERO or find us online at DUIHeroes.com.
DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Frank Lindsay. The memorandum of understanding between Iran and the U.S. is over, according to President Trump. Trump spending his final day at the summit in Turkey telling reporters that the United States is prepared to strike Iran again today after Iran targeted U.S. military bases in the region.
They're not doing a service to the people. And I think more than anything else is I got to know him. And I'm not sure I want to make a deal with him. We can play games, but I'm not sure I want to make a deal. I just finished the job.
Iran also shot at ships in the Strait of Hormuz and warned that more strikes will happen if the U.S. continues to retaliate. Pierce County investigators say the same man is wanted in 2 overnight homicides that happened within 30 minutes of each other. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto says one was in Tacoma, the other in unincorporated Puyallup.
Both of these cases are related, and both homicides we are looking for the same suspect.
That person of interest identified as 24-year-old Hayes McLeod, a Native American, about 5'8", 115 pounds. They think he's driving a 1996 Toyota 4Runner with license plate CWW 5132. You can see pictures at mynorthwest.com. He's considered armed and dangerous, so if you see him, don't approach, just call 911. Progress on the deadly Chelan Hills fire in Douglas County. That 10,000-acre blaze broke out over the 4th of July holiday weekend is now 50% contained. Dee Dee Weymouth, spokesperson for the Southeast Washington Interagency Incident Management Team, telling KIRO 7.
We're up in the North Division and Delta and Mike, and we are going to be mopping up, patrolling, trying to get those black lines around this fire.
1 person died and 19 homes burned. Level 3, meaning get out now. Evacuation orders are still in effect. City of Kirkland urging you and your pets to stay out of swimming areas at Houghton Beach Park after high bacteria levels were found in the water. Public Health of Seattle and King County issuing the warning yesterday. Swimming area is going to stay closed for at least a week while more samples are collected. The rest of the park remains open. It's not really swimming weather right now, though. We'll check that forecast in just a moment. Washington's top education official wants high school seniors to graduate with more than just a diploma. State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl proposing a mandatory year-long post-secondary launch course. The proposal is now before the State Board of Education and could lead lawmakers during the 2027 legislative session. Could head to lawmakers, I should say. Rakedahl was on with Gia and Ursula this morning. If you missed it, Jake and Spike are going to have part of their conversation in just a couple of minutes. On Wall Street today, stocks are mixed. We'll get those numbers for you in just a moment. First, KIRO News Radio traffic. Had that earlier problem with a crash southbound 405 at 167 in Renton. It is all clear there now. Otherwise, drive time's not too bad. Just slight delay from Linwood to Seattle, Redmond to Seattle, all across I-90. Just an extra minute or two, and also some slight delays between Seattle and Renton. This traffic report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. Weather forecast, calling for clouds, and a high of 73 today. Clouds tomorrow morning, but then sunshine in the afternoon with a high of 75. Cloudy and a mix of sunshine and clouds actually on Friday. 73 degrees. Could get a little drizzle on Saturday morning, but otherwise sunshine by afternoon. Again, right around 73. It's 66 right now in Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. A lot of great stuff coming up on the show today. Join us at 2 p.m. We're going to talk to Kent Liu. He is the president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild. They had a very strong reaction to Mayor Katie Wilson shutting off those cameras in the Stadium District. We will talk about that at 2 p.m. We'll find out what, we now know what the mayor thinks of these cameras, but I would be interested in what actual law enforcement thinks about these and how they can be used. So 2 o'clock on that. It's going to be interesting. He's going to be in studio for that. All right, Spike, speaking of in studio, just about an hour ago. State Superintendent
Maybe
Chris
2
Reichdahl.
hours now, yeah.
2 hours. He was in the studio here with talking to Gene Ursula, and they were at least on the show. I don't know if he was in person or if he was live link, but he was on the show.
Video link.
And they were talking about this new thing that they want to do for Washington State high school seniors. This is mandatory class.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, this would help them in life skills when they get out of high school.
I love the name, the Post-Secondary Launch Course.
Post-Secondary Launch Course. The Seattle Times describes it a little bit. Let me read from their description, and then we also have some audio from Reichdahl, and then I would like to get Spike's opinion on this very quickly, because I can see by the look on your face you've got an interesting point of view on this.
Yeah, me and common sense. We don't dance often together.
Students in the State Superintendent of Public Instruction's proposed post-secondary launch course would learn a variety of skills, including how to build a resume, register to vote, and apply to jobs, colleges, and the military, among other things. He will submit this to state lawmakers for consideration during the 27 legislative session. If this ends up being passed into law, this would go in effect in the 2030-2031 school year. So it just, right there, I mean, that's a little peek behind the curtain in how slow everything in the government works.
Right.
It's like, this has to happen. Well, what about the almost entire 4 years of those kids who are going to graduate in the meantime after this law has passed? Well, screw them. They don't get those life skills.
We need to build a curriculum that's going to be obsolete by the time we implement it. That's how we do things here at
Do you want to
the
hear
Department of Redundancy Department.
I'd like a little bit of a taste from you on this. Should we hear from him first? Or do you want...
by all means, because he may answer some concerns and questions that I have.
All right. So Reichdahl talked to Gene Ursula about what this would accomplish. Here's a little bit of that.
Here's the gap that we're trying to fill. We've got 85,000 kids or so who graduate every year, and we know about 60% go straight to college. Less than 2% or so go to the military. A third of them don't really take any of those choices. Maybe they work, maybe they take some time off. All of them, though, run into a whole different world than the comfort of school immediately afterwards. They're asked to fill out applications. They're asked to fill out agreements of debt, whether it's a car, whether it's their first rental, whether it's going to school on a home loan, credit card debt. There's a ton of things that students are exposed to that we just think we can finally help with, because we have a system now, this high school and beyond plan, that challenges students to think about their career, explore their career, think about their post-secondary options. And we have 3 E's we talk about here all the time, which is after high school, we want you employed, we want you enrolled in a post-secondary training program or college or university, or we want you enlisted.
So what do you think about this, Spike? Do you think this is a noble program? Do you think it's going to work? Do you think it's going to get passed? Give me some of your thoughts.
All those are true. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to get passed. I think it's long overdue. I think it's beyond obvious. And I'm speaking to this from a position of experience, of multi-generational. I was raised by a family who didn't have great financial literacy. My folks kind of bounced from situation to situation. We were always comfortable. We were always safe. I don't want to give the impression that we were ever on the skirts. But I left my educational experiences and my home parenting experiences with very low financial literacy about how the real life works. And my kids, I think I have to admit, have suffered the same lack of parenting.
Just maybe specific guidance.
My kid is just graduated college and looking at the first apartment rental that I'm never moving back in the basement again, which I love. But my kid looks at an apartment. I'm like, well, have you got first, last, and security? And I'm like, what? And the fact that I've got to say to my 22-year-old, to explain the concept of first month, last month security deposit shows me just a glaring lack of financial responsibility, education, how life works, life skills training that we didn't give to my kid. Now, when you say, the schools should be teaching this, we've been saying for generations, for decades at least, kids leave school not knowing how to survive and be a part of a functioning society. Mm-hmm. And the fact that, I think Gene Ursula even asked Superintendent Reichdahl, isn't this something that parents should be taking on? And his answer was, but they're not. There may well be, but this is a safety net to make sure that kids who aren't getting this at home, like we have a pretty responsible home. My kids know right from wrong. They just don't know, plus from minus. They don't know red from black when it comes to keeping a ledger. So this is a safety net for those kids who don't get. Everybody should.
So you're vehemently in favor of this.
I'm vehemently in favor of this.
I read you wrong. I'll tell you what. It's
Again,
uncanny.
I don't
it's uncanny.
dance.
No, it's uncanny because I generally have a pretty good read on people.
Yeah.
I got street smarts.
You do.
That I got growing up in Snohomish.
You're from the street. The mean
and everyone's
streets.
real nice.
The mean, street light lit streets of Snohomish. The manicured lawns
the
of
farmed country roads of Snohomish, where everybody's pretty well-meaning. I like those folks.
Yeah.
When we were going to start talking about this, I thought that you were going to say that you thought this was a bad idea.
Well, this is stuff kids should get at home.
Okay.
Much like sex ed. You should have that conversation with your kids about the birds and the bees.
See, this is where I thought you and I were going to agree on this. I thought we were both going to say, like, hey, you know what?
We're in agreement there, but I also have to understand that, because Reichdahl I came in this morning with a different take on this.
Yeah.
But he made me aware, look, and I had to do some self-reflection. It didn't happen in my house. It should.
The financial literacy.
The financial literacy didn't happen in my house. And it should have. But in case it doesn't, and there are other houses like mine, I'm sure that the state then provides, a safety net that a kid knows what it's going to be dealing with.
Yeah.
How to build a resume, how to apply for colleges. My kid gets a dozen credit card apps a day a week in our mailbox.
Sure.
And, you have to sit down and say, look, this is fast and easy, and it's procrastination based, and you put it off, and you'll get to it when you get to it. That's no way to deal with it.
Let me ask you this question. Washington State schools, it's funny because we just talked 2 weeks ago. This was on, I think the story came out on mid-June, so June 16th, something like that, 2-3 weeks ago. There was a new report out that ranks Washington State schools among the rest of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And Washington State has had a fairly specific downfall in their rankings. I mean,
it's an Acapulco cliff diving arc.
Well, it's not going great. So, I mean, just a few years ago, they were 20th, and now they have dropped down to 31st. And the spending on schools has dramatically increased. I think it's up like 110%. Among some of these figures that people found very, not good stats concerning.
How's your English work?
70% of 8th graders were not proficient in math. 68% of 4th graders were not proficient in reading. I completely agree with you that parents should be taking an
active.
Not just active. They should have an outsized influence on your kids' education. You should be reading with them at home.
Yeah.
You should be doing homework with them. You should be checking in so they don't just get stuck. Like basically what a lot of these schools are doing now is they're just doing all this iReady crap where they're just saying, hey, you know what? You're actually required to look at screen time so much during the week to justify the fact that we bought this program. That's a whole separate issue that I'm not happy about.
I know, brother.
Anyway, if they're not able to do like the core things like reading and math, what good are they going to be with this other thing that they're adding on top of that? Like, shouldn't they maybe focus on like, hey, I'm all for financial literacy. I think it's super smart. I'm all for telling kids like, hey, you should know how to fill out a resume. These things are all good things. I'm a fan of all these things. But if they can't even teach them how to read and do math, then maybe they should focus on those core things before they put even more stuff under the umbrella.
Isn't this a barometer if they have reading and math? Financial literacy, if you understand math concepts of debt.
How are you going to read a resume if you can't read it?
But if you can't fill out a resume, they've figured out that you haven't learned to read yet. I mean, this is an addition to the core. You're right about the core educational tenets.
Because they have not shown their ability to teach them the simple things, I don't see any evidence that they're going to be able to teach them the difficult things.
Let's let it fail before we call it a failure. And I'm with you.
Well, because he's trying to sell it to us right now.
We need it. I think we need it. You get half of a financial literacy credit, you get half of credit for civics.
Sure.
Both of those things are necessary to be a functioning member of our society, as opposed to a drain.
I would argue more of your other half of your argument that it's more on the parents to make sure that they're doing the right thing.
Takes a village to teach my kid how to balance a checkbook, okay?
That might be. All right, fair point. Fair point. All right, we got a lot more coming up. When we get back, should we do the 7-Eleven?
Yes.
Did you ever think you'd hear a story about 7-Eleven?
Usually it's you. I worry about the blood pressure during the day. Today it's me.
Today it's you.
Today it's me. I'm
relaxed.
This one is driving me nuts.
It's a lawsuit.
It's a lawsuit.
It's frivolous, you think?
No, you're going to be. I am going to pull the wool over your eyes again.
All right, there you go. All that, we come back. Stick around.
KIRO
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the fourth highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks! They're bringing it home again!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. After a mild winter, forecasters are predicting above-average temperatures for this summer all across the state. And if your home is struggling to stay cool, your attic might be the culprit. Poor insulation or no insulation in your attic can account for up to 40% of the heat gain in your home over the summer. It puts a load on your air conditioner and it can leave you sweating. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing, the team in the red van, they've got you covered. This summer, you can bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof, and you can save 10%. That's better comfort, improved energy efficiency, and less strain on your cooling system. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Valentine Roofing for roofing, attic insulation, and complete home protection because every project comes with the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. Plus, with no money down on your new project, you don't pay until the project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Friday, July 10th through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Friday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing. And no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get up to 5 a year, saving you thousands over the life of your vehicle. Visit our friends at Sunset Auto Family. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that. All right, welcome back to the show. We're still debating, even off the air, we're still debating this this Reichdahl push for
as we should.
Literacy, financial literacy. It's not just financial literacy, it's like life literacy.
It's life
they want to teach you how to.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
How to register to vote.
We're going to get to this lawsuit thing in just a second. They're trying to do that. My problem with this is if they were crushing it in all parts of core educational responsibilities.
Sure.
If they were operating within their budgets and not increasing by 110% over the last 10 years.
Okay.
If they were graduating people who can read and do math good, if they were doing those things effectively on a regular basis, instead of dropping from 27th, they were down from 20, now they're down to 27th, and then they're down to 31st in the nation, while spending like the third most of anybody in the country on teachers and educators and things.
$23,000 per student. Is that what I think it is in Washington State?
I think it's 23. In King County, it's higher. It's like 26 or whatever it is. But whatever. My point is, if they were doing all those things and knocking those things out of the park, then I would say, like, hey, you know what? Who might be really useful in teaching some of these other things? Get the school to tell you how to vote. And not how to vote, how to register to vote.
How to register to vote.
Get the school to do these different things.
Tell the school to stop teaching you who to vote for.
Okay, so here's my other thing. My secret thing.
Okay.
I would not put it past them to be like, hey, if you're going to register to vote, great idea. Here's who we would recommend. You think that's crazy.
Yeah.
But listen.
Well, they want to teach you who to pray to. So.
Who does?
Texas.
We're talking about Chris Reichdahl here.
I know.
I
know. We're talking about what
Stay in the stage, Spike. Stay in the stage.
It's coming. It's a creep. There's a creep coming.
You know what? A little more religion for folks would not be such a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a mandated thing, but I think it's a very valuable thing. All right, let's get to this lawsuit, Spike. Let's blow your mind. Tell us about this lawsuit. This has you on edge.
Nike has a new shoe coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sneakerhead shoe. It's a collectible.
It's a collectible, and the shoe world is weird to me. It's beyond belief to me how much people will pay for athletic shoes.
Well, they're not athletic shoes. They're style. It's style. You're buying style.
You're buying style, but it's a Nike sneaker.
Yeah, but you're not playing basketball.
It's just branded. No, not in this one.
No.
This shoe is coming out on July 11th. It's tricolored, but it has no relation whatsoever to the 7-Eleven Corporation. Just because it's red, orange, and green.
And yet 7-Eleven is not happy about this.
You have to understand that Nike, I think it was in 2022.
2020.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah.
They put out a 7-Eleven edition of their shoe.
Yep.
Partnered with 7-Eleven.
Called the Nike SB Dunk 7-Eleven.
Right, and it was massively popular.
$4,000
They're going for it in the
right
aftermarket
now.
today, right. So now Nike's doing it again, but they're saying that's just a coincidence that we're dropping it on 7-Eleven. It's the same color as your sign. No coincidence whatsoever.
Here's what 7-Eleven has to say in their lawsuit. They said the infringing footwear is not manufactured by 7-Eleven. Obviously, like nobody's buying shoes at 7-Eleven.
We got them on staying warm on the counter.
If you want an old hot dog or a cell phone cover,
that's where you go.
You go to 7-Eleven. Nor is it associated, affiliated, or connected with 7-Eleven or licensed, authorized, sponsored, endorsed, or approved by 7-Eleven in any way. The lawsuit states.
Right.
And then they talk about the knowingly, willfully, and intentionally and maliciously how Nike is using the 7-Eleven tricolor color scheme. I guess in a way to what? Confuse potential buyers into thinking that they're getting a convenience store sneaker shoe?
I guess the last one was so popular in color, they're going to run that color back. They're going to issue essentially the same shoe. The other shoe did have a 7-Eleven logo on it, which made it, I guess, insanely collectible and valuable.
But this one doesn't have
any official affiliation.
They're just using the tricolor combination of, what is it? It's yellow, white, and
green?
green.
It's green, red, and orange.
Green,
basically,
red, and
the
orange.
7 is a multi-shaded 7, and the green.
You know what I got out of this story that I had no idea?
What?
You know 7-Eleven has 83,000 locations?
You bet. It used to be more. It used to be much more prevalent than they are
Really?
today.
They got 8,000 in the U.S.
Yep.
I grew up going to 7-Elevens.
We all did.
Slurpees,
Yes.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But now they have 83,000 locations in the world. I was shocked by that number. I couldn't believe it.
I think it's pretty disingenuous of Nike to say that there's no relation between.
You don't think this is a
shoe.
frivolous lawsuit? You
I think
this has
7-Eleven,
merit?
they got him by the laces on this one, if you'll pardon the pun.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
You can't drop it on 7-Eleven, color it as 7-Eleven, and then say any relationship is a coincidence after you've already branded one.
7-Eleven is asking the court to order the recall and destruction of the sneaker line, award Nike's profits from sales of the shoe to 7-Eleven, award damages, and permanently block Nike from marketing or selling the footwear.
Which ain't going to happen, but you know what is going to happen?
This is all from the Seattle Times.
You know what is going to happen?
What?
A monetary settlement out of court.
You think so?
Oh, hell yes.
You should just give them a free pair of these sneakers. They're very valuable.
But one day a year.
Good.
Come in on 7-Eleven.
Stand
in line.
And they'll come in and they will promote their Slurpee Day or whatever they do.
It's a money grab for 7-Eleven. I think they got a case.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
I think they probably have a case. All right, stick around. We got a lot more coming up. Next at 1 o'clock, we're going to do the 1 o'clock rundown, the biggest headlines from coast to coast, which means we're going to get the Plattner stuff, we're going to get the Iran stuff, everything.
Get the Leaning Tower of Brooklyn or Manhattan.
There you go. That's a crazy story. We got audio next. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon.
What if your boss knew exactly how desperate you were for money and used that information to decide how little they were going to pay you?
Have an algorithm to pay people as low as possible? How low can we go? This has always been a thing for companies.
Because that is essentially a warning on what's called algorithmic wage discrimination.
Watch live or later on the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, yeah, it grow fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
All right, I'm very happy to have Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family on with me right now. And Phil, you guys offer such an amazing value for people who are driving their cars a little bit longer now, and you guys offer repairs for life. How does that work?
Basically, we're going to cover any repair we do for $250 or over for as long as you own the vehicle.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say that I buy my vehicle elsewhere. My transmission on my car breaks down. You guys fix it. 10 years later, I have the same problem. You guys are going to fix that again for no cost?
That's right. No cost to you for as long as you own the vehicle.
So why would you even offer this? This has got to be incredibly expensive for you.
You know what? We just want to keep our customers for life. So chances are if we do a repair for life and we take good care of you, you might look us up when you decide to get a new vehicle. And we want to be your lifetime dealer.
So somebody really does feel like they're part of the Sunset Auto family.
That's exactly right. We want you to be part of the family, and that's why we take good care of you.
Oil changes for life, warranty protection for life, and repairs for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Immigrant rights groups are demanding a third-party investigation into Tuesday's fatal shooting of a Mexican national in Houston. Mexico's president also says her government will pursue new legal action against the U.S. for the death. ABC's Jim Ryan says ICE called it self-defense.
According to his son, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo had been in the U.S. for nearly 35 years, working in construction. On Tuesday, ICE officers attempted to pull him over, but say that he sped away and then tried to run over an agent with his van. Hours after the incident, protesters were on the same street where Araujo was shot to death.
President Trump signaled the U.S. could carry out more strikes against Iran in response to Iran's firing on vessels in the Strait of Hormuz this week. The president says he does not think the war will resume. In Utah this hour, court resuming for the third day of hearings for Tyler Robinson, the man charged with last year's murder of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. This is ABC News. Carmelo Anthony, serving 35 years for killing a fellow high school athlete in Texas last year, is now asking for a new trial. The 19-year-old's new legal team claiming misconduct on the part of prosecutors and the judge.
After Carmelo Anthony was convicted of stabbing a student from a rival school at a track meet, Judge John Roach Jr. was interviewed by Dallas ABC affiliate WFAA. Asked whether the jury got it right, Roach said it did.
That's the process, and whatever they say, they get it right.
Carmelo Anthony's attorneys say the comment calls Roach's impartiality into question. They want a new trial and a new judge. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
A 70-year-old California man is recovering after being found alive some 6 days after he went missing in the wilderness. The former Marine severely hydrated when search and rescue crews found him. His family, though, believes his military background helped him survive. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
The manhunt continues after 2 early morning homicides in Pierce County. Details on the person of interest deputies are looking for in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Just some slight delays out there right now. Alderwood to South Center, if you're taking I-5, take about 38 minutes. It's about 6 minutes longer than normal. Everett to Seattle, 35 minutes, so about a 5-minute delay there. Also a 5-minute delay from Linwood to Seattle. And if you're taking a ferry right now or this afternoon you're planning to, be aware that the Anacortes San Juan Islands ferries, they're running about 15 to 30 minutes behind schedule right now. This traffic report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Frank Lindsay. 2 homicides in the South Sound this morning. 1 person of interest on the run. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says the killings happened about 30 minutes apart at 2 separate locations. Deputy Carly Capetto tells KIRO 7 a 35-year-old man was found dead inside a Puyallup home around 2:40 a.m.
We have not located any weapons at this time. Right now, we're waiting for the medical examiner to get here.
Police say the second homicide involved a shooting in Tacoma's Hillsdale neighborhood. Deputies have identified 24-year-old Hayes McLeod as a person of interest. You can head to mynorthwest.com to see a picture of him. He's considered armed and dangerous, so if you see him, call 911. Federal forecasters say the Columbia River Basin in Washington and Oregon, the most likely spot in the West to see drought intensify over the next 3 months. Jason Gerlich is with the National Integrated Drought Information System.
The deficits in places like Washington and Idaho and Oregon are still very significant, and it's not going to take just one prolonged rain event to move some of these states out of their drought conditions.
Heat wave building in the northern plains could push into the Pacific Northwest by late July, and that would raise wildfire risk heading into peak fire season. Meanwhile, the Chelan Hills wildfire continues to burn, and now the Douglas County Sheriff's Office believes it was human-caused. Dee Dee Weymouth is with the South Washington Interagency Incident Management Team, and she tells KIRO 7 TV.
We've got guys still out on the fire line. They just left this morning, and they're doing mop-up, and they're going to be patrolling for hot spots and smoldering.
That fire now 50% contained. Well, you've seen him score touchdowns.
Rashid Shaheed does it again. A 59-yard punt return for a touchdown.
Soon you can watch Rashid Shaheed hit home runs. Shaheed and fellow Seahawk Chenna Nwosu are hosting the 5th annual Seattle All-Star Classic at Cheney Stadium in Tacoma on Saturday. The celebrity softball game and home run derby supports nonprofits in the South Sound. Standard tickets cost about $27. By the way, the Mariners taking on the Miami Marlins this afternoon. The M's hoping to avenge their 6-5 loss to the Marlins yesterday. Catch today's game on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. KIRO News Radio weather. Cloudy this afternoon. A high of 73 degrees. More clouds tomorrow morning, but then sunshine in the afternoon with a high of 75. A mix of sun and clouds on Friday, 73 degrees. Maybe a little drizzle on Saturday morning. Otherwise, sunshine and partly cloudy skies, and 74 on Sunday. 66 under cloudy skies in Seattle right now. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Next hour, 2 o'clock, top of the hour, we're going to have Kent Liu. He is the president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild. They have a very specific response to Mayor Katie Wilson immediately shutting off those surveillance cameras in the stadium district right after World Cup ending. So we will talk about that with him. And
keeping her promise to the people.
What police want to see happen. We'll find out.
Speaking about a promise to the people.
It sounds like you're going to have some good questions for Ken.
I can't wait. I love when he comes on.
Yeah,
he's got such an honest, an authentic, and common sense reality or approach, I should say, to what we're asking of our law enforcement community.
He's a good dude. Yeah. All right, we're doing something new. We're going to start doing something called the 1 o'clock rundown, and we thought it would be interesting. This would be this place at 1 o'clock every day for us to do a coast to coast look at whatever the biggest stories are in the country. So the first two we will get through because they are the biggest stories they're the most viewed. Although number 3 is coming up fast.
Yeah, it is.
And so this list was compiled using all the metrics that we could come up with showing actually what people are clicking on and what people are interested in talking about. Number 1 we're going to start with is the U.S. strikes on Iran.
Yeah, the ceasefire is officially fired.
Seems like it. Seems like it's nothing now. Then we're going to get into, in just a minute, we're going to get into that crazy buckling Manhattan couple of support beams on this high-rise in Manhattan. Somebody noticed that, hey, that building that's being refurbished right now.
Is it me? Have I been day drinking?
Or is it just snapping? Are those things snapping?
Yeah.
And these high-rises, these are, 20, 30, 40 stories up, so that's very scary stuff. And then finally, we're going to get into the Graham Plattner stuff because he's still holding out, and this is one of those.
Buddy, TikTok.
This is a wild story. I mean, this is just. I mean, you think it's big right now? Just wait until that July 13th deadline gets closer and closer, which I believe is Monday. Is that Monday?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get into all that. Let's start with this U.S.-Iran stuff. So in Iran, it looks like the U.S. military has now launched what they're saying are retaliatory strikes on Iran after the IRGC hit 3 commercial tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Is that pronounced Hermes?
Hormuz.
I think it's pronounced Hermes.
Only when you buy a scarf. It's Hormuz.
I'm just kidding.
Not the chili people.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
So Trump was, in very Trumpian fashion, he was speaking this morning, and
he's over at the NATO summit in Turkey.
Yes, although he's surrounded by his team here. He's not. This is not.
But that's where he's
in Turkey. Yes, and I believe he actually just after these statements, I think he got on his plane and headed home.
Hopped on home. Good.
Anyway, he was asked whether or not the ceasefire is over, and as always, Trump is pretty candid about what he thinks.
Is the ceasefire done? Is the MOU dead?
It's a very interesting question. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars. We make a deal. And if I make a deal.
By the way, just a quick pause here. Can you imagine like his negotiating team, like Steve Witkoff sitting in the back room or listening over like a radio? He's like, all right, guys. He's like looking at the Iranian delegation, whoever he's talking to across the table. And he's like, I think we're looking good. We're looking good. Trump's going to say something real fast. Yeah. Let me just check in on that, and then we can get back to the negotiations.
It's up to me.
With him, we have a deal, and he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say, we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
So he says, as far as he's concerned, it's over.
Can I trademark the phrase "cease fired"?
Oh, that's actually very clever.
Because that's
very clever.
I should reach out to his people.
Do it in a Trump voice and say,
"It cease fired."
You cease fired.
You cease is fired.
That's pretty good. I think that's a good one. I think that's going to catch on.
I'm going to save it for a third story too. And actually, it's relevant to all three.
So here's the thing. So immediately when this was announced that the ceasefire had like fallen through, which is, I think this is what, the second or third time that this thing has fallen apart?
38th time, I think this was.
38th time. It's a baker's dozen. The oil market jumped in price. I think it was like somewhere between 2% and 5%. Not good. I think people are getting very, very ready for this thing to be behind us. What are the oil prices going to do? Trump says, well, we might have another blockade.
And we may put down the blockade. We may put it back, the blockade. And it'll only be a blockade for Iran. Anybody else can have whatever they want.
Whatever they want. Come on through. Here's the thing. The IRGC hit 3 commercial tankers. Mm-hmm. That's not good. The U.S. launches strikes in retaliation.
Yeah.
Also, doesn't seem like it's de-escalating the situation.
No.
But here's my question to you, honest question, and you can sway me either way on this. I'm open to being swayed.
Okay.
You have some sort of a ceasefire deal, and then they fire. Like if I made you president right now, what would your response be?
It's hard not to defend your position, your installations, your military personnel.
Yeah.
You know, the commercial shipping lanes of the Straits of Hormuz. It's hard not to retaliate against their infrastructure, wherever. That's the other thing too. He's talking about taking out, energy capacities and desalinization plants, civil targets, which is, that should be out of bounds. Military is military. But Iran, you're right. Iran started. They're firing on commercial oil vessels.
Yeah, commercial. These are this is not military.
No, this is military because they say you have to pay a toll. You have to pay a fee. A levy against transit in the Straits of Hormuz, which is not acceptable. It's never happened before. It shouldn't be happening now.
Iran claims that they have targeted now 80-plus U.S. military facilities in Bahrain and Kuwait in response to the U.S. response to their firing on 3 commercial, or to Iran's firing on 3. So it just feels like it's escalating.
Oh, it's completely escalating.
Swinging back and forth. So, but if I could magically make you president of the United States, and let's say that you're in Turkey right now, and you and we have just replaced Spike where Trump used to be, and you're sitting in a very nice suit and you're in front of people.
Okay.
What would you do with this situation?
I'd put qualified negotiators in place to speak to the Iranians.
Okay.
Which I don't think we have right now. I mean, all due respect to Witkoff and Kushner. Kirshner was
Jared Kushner.
I'm thinking of Don Kirshner's rock concert. Again, some of my old residue from my older years.
I don't know who that is, to be honest.
Wow. Anywho, I put qualified. We got rid of all the people with decades of experience on how to deal with and with the Middle East and with Iran in particular.
Okay.
None of those folks were in the room for these negotiations. I put real negotiators. The problem is I can't believe a word Iran says, and sometimes I feel like I can't believe much of what this administration says. You know, I don't. Yeah,
caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, you really are. It's so
tough situation.
I would just do anything I could to just stop the bombings.
It's tough though, because if they fire on your commercial tankers and you have this understanding that nobody's going to be firing on each other, the ceasefire. I mean, it's in the name.
I hear you.
And then somebody fires, and then you got to go, hey, you know what? I'm going to respond. I will say this about the way that he talks about it. He calls them scum and things like that.
They're cuckoo.
Well, here.
I believe you could find the same thing said on Iranian.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they're probably saying the same thing about the Trump administration.
That's what I was going to say. Is he responding in kind, using similar language? And if he is, could there be some method to the madness where he's thinking, you know what? They obviously respond to, we have the people negotiating. That's great. I'm sure the people from Iran who have their negotiators there, they're probably doing the same thing. Like they're looking across the table at Witkoff, and they're all going like this. There's a lot of eye rolling from both sides, probably. Or just like,
I'm assuming, yeah.
Golly, could we not get somebody to just let us finish negotiating this thing
before we start shooting at each other?
Before both of our bosses mouth off. So it's it feels like the whole thing. There's a lot of very colorful language that's being used. Yes.
Yeah.
But on both sides, and I think everybody's kind of getting tired. I mean, like for sure, everybody's getting tired of it.
We can't keep this up because now he's talking about major escalation. We're not talking about just another skirmish here, there, every
if they
other
fire on
week.
80 plus things, then there's going to be retaliatory strikes.
That's what I'm saying. We're not talking about the status quo anymore. This stuff's ratcheting up quickly.
Here's what I think, though. I do think it's good. Like I pulled all these news stories are pulled from. This is PBS. This is Washington Post. This is from a maritime expert. Talked to PBS, and he was saying, like, listen, like this is a really tricky situation that everybody finds themselves in, and you cannot forget that this is a vital waterway that a lot of ships want to go through, and it's so bad right now that they're willing to risk pirates in the Red Sea rather than go through because they can't trust that anybody's going to be straight going through the Strait of Hermes. Listen to this guy.
When they return, there's going to be a reticence, and what seems to be occurring is that ships are starting to actually assess that the Red Sea, with pirate attacks on the rise and still a looming threat of Houthis, is still safer than traversing the...
They'd rather go with pirates. Does make it more exciting, doesn't it?
You'd be better off putting barrels of oil on a covered wagon, having a mule team taking across the desert than either one of those.
This is a long way. All right, let's move. Can we move on to a different story?
Sure. This one blows my mind.
Let's get to the high-rise collapse. This is crazy. This is on the 21st floor. There's a building. It's known as it used to be Pfizer headquarters, and
the drug company. But they made too much money.
I don't tell you what.
Move to sweeter digs.
Yeah, they said we want to get out of here. No, this kidding. We're just speculating. This building in New York, it's New York high rise. It is being retrofitted. Housing is at a premium.
Yeah.
And so they're saying, and maybe it sounds like New York might be suffering from some of the same stuff that Seattle's suffering from, is that you don't have businesses who want to come and, do business in your buildings.
Okay.
And so they are retrofitting it into 1,500 luxury apartment units. So luxury condos. Now, it's going to be it's in the middle of this construction phase. It's going to be very, very difficult selling these future luxury apartments if people are worried that the high-rise building that they're in is going to collapse around them. Because what's happening...
Yeah.
You saw the pictures of this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So what's happening is somebody took a picture. They said... what first started happening was they realized that bricks were falling down from the exterior of the building. They said... Somebody looked up. They said, that's not right. There shouldn't be bricks falling. And so they call up the police commissioner or fire commissioner, whoever it was, and they say, you guys should go up and check that out. So they do. And you know those massive... You ever been in those really beautiful downtown... or like in Bellevue, those high rises that have like those floor to ceiling windows, and they're being held up by these steel girders.
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah,
and that's the spine that keeps these things up. Two of those were just bent. And they describe it
look like a broken bone.
It looks like a broken bone.
Yeah.
And one of the guys here describes, what they saw when this is a steam fitters union rep who went in and, one of their jobs is to make these assessments. They went in and described what his team saw.
So you had members up there at the time?
Members right here.
They were up there. What did they see? What did they?
Cracking windows, bent beams, floor, concrete was falling from the roof below, and they brought it up, and then they had to evacuate the job immediately.
The New York Commissioner of Departments of Buildings says, hey, everything's good now. We've done our assessment. It's going to be fine. It was just a little bit of a load-bearing issue on this new construction.
Load-bearing. Thank you. There's the word doing the most lifting, pardon the pun, in this sentence.
What did you think of this? Could you ever be in this building? Would you ever buy an apartment in this building?
Not a shot. Not a shot in the world.
Totally agree.
They took a 22-story building, and they're adding 11 stories on top of it. They're stacking 11 stories more on top of a 22-story building to do this retrofit to residential.
Sure.
1,500 condominium units.
Yeah.
This is where I know that we have excessive regulations and zoning and permits and all these things.
Some of it's good.
Some of it's good. Thank you. Some of it's good. I don't know how you stack 11 more stories on top of a 22-story building.
I'll tell you how.
And not expect.
Not like this.
Not like this. They expected that building's infrastructure, which was designed. I mean, when you build, there are engineers, structural engineers who know their game. It's science, it's physics, and there's just enough steel in a 22-story building to hold up a 22-story building.
Yeah, because the steel itself weighs a lot,
and it costs a lot.
And
you build efficiently, you build safely with regulations. You don't throw 11 more stories on top of a 22-story building and expect the beam from 1970 whatever to just bear the weight.
The founder of the developer who's actually retrofitting, they're converting this building, described it this way. They said that this is nothing more than a typical construction mishap. He says that the project is well engineered, well thought through, and well executed, with the exception of those two columns that could not take the load.
And then there's a picture of a guy from the city with his arm at like a 45-degree angle.
Pushing.
He's
Put a little weight on that,
describing
Kevin.
it to those around. It kind of looks like this.
That's wild.
I don't think, you know what? You asked if I could ever live in this building.
Yeah.
Not a shot.
Not a shot.
That thing's got to come down.
No, thank you.
That thing's got to come down and go back up.
It's got to go away. That's our opinion. Speaking of who else needs to go away? This is our third story. Graham Plattner. This is interesting. So I was trying to look this up just before we got into the segment here.
For updates?
Because I was looking for updates.
Mm-hmm.
This is apparently just went out recently. This is from Graham Plattner's campaign manager. Sent this around because state Democrats in Maine, the Democratic Party in Maine, is right now feverishly trying to figure out how to replace this guy.
Right.
Now, there is no mechanism in Maine politics for forcing him to leave.
No.
They can politely ask, and that's why what's happening right now is they have this, you hear this July 13th date being thrown around there.
Yeah.
If they don't get him to leave by July 13th, they cannot replace him on the ballot.
Right.
So they would have to, at that point, either do one of two things. They could get in line and suddenly pretend like these allegations against him are not a big deal, or they can just watch as Susan Collins wins the race, and then they don't have the opportunity. They were looking at this as a potential possible Senate pickup for Democrats.
Yeah, it's one of the best chances Democrats have for flipping a seat in the Senate.
It's becoming less so.
It was one of the best. It was.
Yeah, it's becoming less so.
Let me timestamp that statement.
But this is a campaign manager just sent this out. What it says is they want to have a very strong opinion about who replaces this guy if he were to step down, because he hasn't stepped down yet.
Right.
But they said, we firmly believe that the supporters and volunteers who built this movement deserve to have a real role in any nomination process. If the Maine Democratic Party hopes to harness our movement and avoid disillusioning the hundreds of thousands of supporters who came into the fray because of our movement policies, it must consult the feedback and proposals of the people who built and sustain this. And you know what? He's not wrong.
I'm with you.
As bad as this guy is.
Yeah, he didn't run on, hey, I'm a former rapey, kind of guy. He ran on the platforms of social change and.
Well, he's a socialist. Yeah. He ran on that, but the thing is, like, they're trying to replace him, which is not a good look. But he's the worst looking guy out there.
He is.
And
he's a bad standard bearer for their movement.
So what are they going to do? I mean,
he's going to step down.
Do you think he will?
Well, this is now day 4 of this circus. Because it came out over the weekend, right? Wasn't this Monday morning's headlines? If I got the couple days off, I apologize.
For some reason, I want to say it was. What day is it? Is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Okay, then I think this really was thrust into the news. It felt like Monday.
Monday, okay, it's when it hit. Okay.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party nationally has pulled all support. You've seen the who's who of endorsements that have been pulled, and first it was pulled endorsements.
Virtually everybody.
Everybody. This guy was recruited by Bernie Sanders' movement.
Bernie was this guy's biggest champion.
Well, because there's elements of Bernie Sanders' political machine that goes and scouts for candidates coast to coast.
Yeah.
And they picked this guy because he had that look, he had that backstory. They did some light vetting on this guy.
Very light vetting.
They put the wagons behind this guy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they come out of the woodwork for this guy because this guy's who they say he is. From a bad decisions in my past perspective, he seems to be who they say he is. And even if I mean, give the guy give him all the chances in the world, every benefit of every doubt. If none of these things are true,
which
we
is
will
highly unlikely,
which is incredibly unlikely, we would never know. And the stain is he is unelectable. Whether he's being falsely accused or not today, he is unelectable. That's undeniable. He's got to go. Maine has 4 days left to get him to leave and offer a candidate to take his place on the ballot as a Democrat, which gives them the full weight of the Democratic national machine in this Senate race, which they need.
Which they threatened. They said, we're going to pull all of our money.
They already have.
Yeah.
They
said, if you don't replace him, we're not going to let you do any advertising.
Right. The Democrats can't, by nature. I mean, you can have an independent candidate, but they have no mechanism of Democratic support.
The whole thing is crazy.
He said,
he had a lot of red flags going into this, though. It wasn't just the most recent allegation.
No, it wasn't.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yep.
All right, we got a lot more coming up.
Sexting, blah blah blah.
We're going to get to your question of the day feedback when we come back. Would you let your kids have an e-bike? It's a good bunch of responses. People are very passionate about this. Stick around. We'll give you some of that when we get back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
All right, I'm very excited to be speaking with Phil Mitchell. He is a new advertiser on the show. He owns Sunset Auto Family. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Jake.
I want to talk about something that I cannot stress enough, how valuable this is for anybody who's looking for a car. You guys do oil changes for life. What does that mean?
Well, basically, it means if you buy a car that qualifies for oil changes for life, we're going to give you 5 oil changes a year. And they're about $150 now. You know, oil goes up and down, but guess what? We're going to change the oil for as long as you own that vehicle on us.
Like you're saying, oil changes are $150. They're even more if you're driving a diesel. And so you hold on to a vehicle for 10 years, that's like $10,000.
Oh, it can be even more than that. We've got a guy that's been changing his oil since 1985. He's gotten more oil changes than the car cost, and we're still changing it for him because that's what we do. We're your lifetime dealer.
And this is what people are going to get at Sunset Auto Family.
That's right. Great service for as long as you own the vehicle.
Oil changes for life. Only at Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset. And people do like that.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
Get any size high-efficiency AC for just $179.99 a month with 0 upfront costs. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service includes lifetime repairs and annual maintenance at no extra charge. Book your free estimate at cmheating.com today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Mom, she was living on her own and scared. We didn't feel it was very safe for her. And we found Aegis. Love it. Everybody is so welcoming and she is just so safe here.
She has serious Alzheimer's disease. When she sees me, she smiles, she gives me a hug, and we dance together.
Aegis Living helps you understand your choices so the right decision feels easier. Visit aegisliving.com and see why so many families say, Aegis Living, this must be the place.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran appears to have collapsed. President Trump declaring the memorandum of understanding over after the two sides traded strikes overnight. President warned of more attacks tonight.
It's going to happen very fast. We have the Hormuz Strait. The boats have pulled out. I mean, there's a gusher of oil right now. We have a lot of oil. And no, anything that happens is going to happen very fast.
U.S. Central Command says it already hit more than 80 military targets in response to Iranian attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Washington Senate Republicans are formally asking Governor Bob Ferguson to call a special legislative session to lower gas prices across the state. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has details.
If they get that special session, state Republicans will have to convince a majority of Democrats to temporarily pause the state gas tax, which adds around 60 cents per gallon as part of the state's Climate Commitment Act to reduce carbon emissions. Republican Senator Jeff Wilson.
These are really tough times for just about everybody in the state of Washington when it comes to providing for their families and just getting around with their day-to-day lives.
The move might be an uphill battle as oil prices rose in the wake of President Trump declaring the U.S.-Iran ceasefire over. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
For the closing bell now, mixed results on Wall Street amid those renewed tensions with Iran. It sent oil prices up more than 5%. Dow down 578 to about 1%. NASDAQ up 52, and S&P 500 lost 21 points. ABC's Michelle Franzen with insights on what the Federal Reserve is thinking about interest rates.
The Federal Reserve minutes from the last board meeting show members agreed to keep interest rates unchanged, but were split over whether inflation is likely to stay elevated or could cool once the Iran war ends.
Fed did hold interest rates steady at its last meeting, the fourth straight time it kept rates unchanged. Now to the real-time traffic desk, and the map is actually in pretty good shape at this hour. It's all green from Tacoma to Olympia both ways. Looking at some minor slowdowns right now from Shoreline into Seattle. Right now, Linwood to Seattle, taking you under 30 minutes. That is a very solid travel time. Just the normal backups right now on 405 between Renton and Bellevue, and lake bridges are wide open. Renton to Puyallup, about 30 minutes. To the weather report now, we are seeing mostly cloudy skies at this hour, but temperatures on the cooler side compared to yesterday, low 70s for the high this afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is the fun part of the show where we get to respond to your question of the day. Now, today, earlier, we talked about a story. This was a horrible story to have to talk about, but there was a death just yesterday. A 14-year-old kid was riding an e-bike with some friends. Literally steps away from our studio here. We are in Eastlake. Just behind us, if you do just a very short walk up the hill, there's a really cool mountain bike course that the city has had there for as long as I can remember. And it's underneath I-5, and a lot of times you can find, bike riders up there and whatever. So he was there apparently with some friends riding down the stairs, it looks like, on one of these e-bikes. He was wearing a helmet, but police said after the fact, they said a motorcycle helmet would have been more appropriate given what he was riding.
A serious head injury, serious body injuries, and the child didn't make it.
Horrible story. And the kid ends up passed away, died from his injuries. And so we asked you guys, we've had a lot of these stories about e-bikes, and it's become a real topic of conversation. Really zeitgeisty. This is a conversation that a lot of people are having because we're seeing in all these neighborhoods, like mine, I'm sure like yours.
Oh, you bet.
You see these kids riding around on these bikes going crazy, not knowing the dangers that they're putting themselves in because they're not observing the rules of the road. They're riding literally on the roads, which they should not be, or they're riding on the sidewalks at road level speeds. So we asked the question today, would you get your kids one of these e-bikes or one of these e-scooters now that we've had enough time to see how they're being ridden? And let's dive into some of these responses, Spike.
David Olympia says, my son has won an e-bike, dirt bike for years. My answer has been a solid no.
There you go.
I would say this, though, Dave. I respect your parenting decisions. There's a big difference between an e-bike and a dirt bike. I think that's one of the problems is when you get a dirt bike, you're on a motorcycle. You know where it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
E-bikes have this gray area of power, of potential, of areas of use. I think it falls on all of us to educate ourselves and then educate our kids.
The thing is, so I rode dirt bikes when I was a kid, and when I got a dirt bike, my parents made me take a little safety course so that I could figure out. It doesn't feel it feels like more responsibility because of the weight, because it's bigger. There's an engine component that's loud. It's a little shocking. Like dirt bikes are, like you ride a Harley.
You bet.
You're aware that you are on a machine and that machine can hurt you. On these e-bikes, they're silent.
Just a bike.
Many of them just look like a bike. Bikes, everybody knows how to ride a bike. The problem is when you get into the speed that these can achieve and the quickness which these can achieve, people are finding themselves in very dangerous situations.
Kids getting in dangerous trouble.
John in the 573 says, at 15, I had a YZ 125.
Yamaha YZ 125. Yeah, buddy.
That's a nice bike. And a Banshee 350 four-wheeler. Most kids I knew back then had an ATV or a dirt bike. I was the same way. I felt like that was a... Are kids still getting dirt bikes? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, that's still a thing.
In the 80s and 90s, everybody had a dirt bike.
You bet. 70s too, we had them.
70s?
You bet, of course. Yeah. We had them.
I wonder if that's still...
It's still a thing. The problem is now there's this new edition of the e-bike, the e-scooter.
Yeah.
It brings it everywhere. Because when you had a dirt bike, you had to be in a certain place to use it. You had to be in a certain
out
part
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. You knew the limitations of where you could have this kind of fun.
Yeah.
Responsibility that came with this kind of a toy.
You wore
e-bikes
pads.
don't have those. Yes.
You're doing these things to protect yourself.
I see e-bikers and e-scooters every day.
Yeah.
I saw a couple kids. I didn't bring this up earlier. Saw a couple kids on scooters yesterday. Okay, just the scooters, the e-scooters, not the rentals. They own them. One kid had a helmet with him in his hand. He literally had a helmet in his hand while he's kicking the throttle.
You're like, dude,
on his I stopped the car.
Right there.
I stopped the car.
What'd you say to him?
I said, listen, bud, I'm not your dad, and you don't know me from Adam. I said, but you put your helmet on. I know you probably have it because your folks told you to take a helmet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they didn't mean for you to hold it in your hand. I said, you're going to lose your whole summer if something happens. Said you're going to lose your. You're going to.
You could lose more than that.
I didn't even want to go because then I'm just hyper.
Then you're making.
I'm that
scary.
guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do Ted and Enumclaw. This is a good one.
Ted says, can we just change the subject instead of taking everything fun away from kids? If they're riding on the streets, they're doing something their parents probably don't know and don't want them doing. The danger is the child, not the e-bike. I'm sure you have not allowed your children fireworks either because of safety issues. The best thing for your kids is to do dangerous things carefully. That leads to a well-rounded education.
I would say this to Ted and Enumclaw. I don't think Spike or neither of us are saying that nobody should be able to do dangerous things.
Oh, no.
Nobody should not do dangerous things.
The burned calf teaches best, I found, from
my
riding
kids.
a motorcycle.
I bought my kids fireworks, and we went out, and I told a story just after 4th of July about getting screamed at by crazy old ladies about my kids lighting off fireworks.
Right.
It is good. I mean, his advice is not bad either. It is good to go out there and do measured, semi-risky things. Like kids who do risky behavior, this is actually like an interesting thing. They have done studies where they found that kids who engage in risk-seeking behavior as kids lead healthier, less anxious lives as adults.
Yeah.
Because they have already seen that they can overcome hard things and survive them as children.
And suffer consequences from bad decisions.
But they also learn consequences,
Yes.
which helps. What you and I are talking about is it doesn't feel like an even playing field right now because these e-bikes are very, very fast. And it tricks kids into thinking that they're bikes when they're not actually bikes. They're motorcycles. So we're not against motorcycles.
No.
You ride them currently. I rode them my whole life. I like motorcycles.
We're not against e-bikes either. We're for safety.
But ride them as they for what they are. If it rides like a motorcycle and it does what a motorcycle does, then treat it like a motorcycle. And I have no problem with it. All right, here. Adam in Mount Lake Terrace. I'm generally against laws, but Americans are too stupid to need. But Americans are too stupid to need to disallow use of these under 16-year-olds or something. And if road police can confiscate them immediately. If on the road, police can confiscate them immediately.
Yeah.
I need to learn to read good.
And other things. Dave and Graham says, was this accident caused because it was an e-bike or would the same accident have happened on a normal bike? It's hard to say. We'll never know. But the amount of speed that a kid can go down a set of stairs with an e-bike, and then maybe you panic and instead of hitting a brake, you hit a throttle. Who knows?
It's true. Pat and Olympia, how many deaths are there with bicycles, skateboards, scooters, etc.? I think parents need to watch their kids. I plan on teaching my kid how to ride a dirt bike, but I'll be accountable for them. That's what we're asking for. That's the best lesson. Just be accountable and
Brother
teach your kids
253 says, no way I'm buying my kid one. They need to pedal and get some exercise.
That's the other thing is you see all these kids riding around. I'll be honest, kind of chubby. Some of them. And I think to myself, even the ones who are observing the rules of the road. Like sometimes I see kids on the path and they're riding at an appropriate speed. Yeah. I'm just like, it wouldn't hurt them to pedal. You know what I mean?
I hear you, brother. I'm looking in the mirror when I say that.
All right, Mark in Nisqually says, just drove home from Seattle and saw lots of young adults riding line bikes and scooters without helmets. Maybe that little waiver agreement should include you are being charged a small fee for health insurance so taxpayers don't have to pay for all the cost of resulting ER visits.
Lori in Bellevue says there was a teen riding an e-bike, a line bike, with a back tire flat, wheel bent down the bike lane on 2nd Avenue in Seattle at the last World Cup match on Monday. Not a care in the world. People were pointing it out, and he didn't care. He was hell bent on destruction. Well, during the World Cup, you couldn't find a bike. You had to take whatever you got, and he got one with a flat tire and a bent tire.
He was happy just to get it.
Just to get somewhere.
Fernando in Seattle. Jake, stick to your guns. 11-year-old is way too young for an e-bike. Yes, I agree, Fernando. He's not getting an e-bike. I just don't think I don't trust he's not going to do something crazy with it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather he just get a dirt bike and fully commit and just ride an awesome dirt bike.
Yeah, and be where dirt bikes are supposed to be.
Yes.
Because you're not going to take a dirt bike down the sidewalk, down your driveway, into the street.
You're not going to convince yourself that you can get away with it because you're on something that looks like a bike. And then you're riding on the road. You're just sticking to the woods and trails. That's a blast. I had so much fun doing that as a kid. So I
want to invent something that an e-bike won't start. It's got a scanner. And unless you got a helmet on, it won't start.
I imagine that's probably already achievable. They must have that. Like it connects to your phone. Like we're just inventing apps as we're talking, but they could connect it to your phone.
It's got an eye on it. It's already watching everything we do.
Yeah. And then it does a quick scan of your head.
Yeah, you got to put. And if you don't have your helmet on, it stops.
Doesn't start. That's very smart. Or you have to prove that you have a helmet on to make it start. Then you can take the helmet off.
But then the engine would cut.
Oh, because there's like
there's a sensor.
There's a sensor.
Yeah, they're watching everything anyway. Don't tell the mayor. She won't let it happen.
Copyright. We just came up with it. Nobody invented it. All right. We got a lot more coming up. What is this about airports?
Oh, a new way to travel. It's called the airport divorce, and I am living for this.
People are getting divorced at the airport?
Sorta.
What is this? I'll tell you about it next. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins!
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. I have got a message for you, plumbers, roofers, electricians, contractors, landscapers, delivery drivers. We can't do any of this without you. And like you, Sunset means business, literally. Sunset Auto Family carries full commercial vehicle lines from both Chevy and Ford. But here's what separates them from everybody else. Commercial vehicles qualify for repairs for life. Let that sink in for a second. Commercial trucks routinely rack up 100,000, 200,000, even 300,000 miles. Any qualifying repair over $250 is guaranteed for life, for as long as you own the vehicle. How's that for a business partner? Talk to Lisa at Sunset Chevrolet or Aaron and Chris at Sunset Ford. They'll walk you through everything. Honestly, it's hard to imagine buying a Ford or a Chevy commercial vehicle anywhere else once you truly understand what this program means for your bottom line. Sunset Ford, Sunset Chevrolet, and Sumner. You just get more at Sunset. Like commercial vehicles protected for life, and business owners like you do like that.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of?
Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get up to 5 a year, saving you thousands over the life of your vehicle. Visit our friends at Sunset Auto Family. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Washington drivers share the road with thousands of semi-trucks, but new reporting and federal investigations have unveiled that as many as 1 in 5 of those trucks are operated by chameleon carriers, trucking companies that rack up crashes and safety violations only to close and reopen under a new name with a clean record. If you've been injured in a trucking accident, time may be running out to recover. Call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, while you were gone over the break, over 4th of July week, I had a story. Taylor Swift got married, which you probably heard about.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Netflix special.
We were talking, yeah, of course, yeah, whoever airs that. So we were talking over the break about their marriage, and then we had another story too about how you know Malcolm in the Middle, the Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
He and his wife announced they're getting a divorce. Very sad. So we
sad.
kind of had a tale of two,
Yeah.
start and a finish. And I was saying how I never like to hear the word divorce. I just think it's like, don't introduce it into your language, and it never even is going to pop up as an idea. But then I saw this story about, it's called an airport divorce.
Yes.
And you actually love this idea.
I did. And I thought
you've been happily married for many years, and this scared me.
35 years this year. Be 35 years.
So what's happening?
So it's a very misleading definition. It's a headline. It's a clickbait definition, a headline.
I clicked on it.
Okay. So what an airport divorce is the answer to my life. It's the key to happy marriage. I'm telling you. Because what it is, it's a definition of how different people travel in different styles. Some people are like, get there 3 hours early, pack 2 days ahead of time, double check everything. And some of us throw socks and underwear in a bag on our way out the door and get there as the plane is boarding. That's just the way different people travel different ways.
100%.
When you are in a relationship with somebody, you have different travel styles. My wife and I have this. I'm the, believe it or not.
Let me guess. I'm guessing that you're kind of a last minute guy.
Nope.
Really?
I'm Mr. early. And my wife shares that.
You
but
pre-pack?
I pre-pack. Because I just can't wait to get the hell on to Dodge.
Okay.
I love vacation.
Sure.
I mean, packing for vacation is half the fun of a vacation for me.
Because
the
anticipation.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And my wife,
it's like a vacation foreplay.
My thank you. It's like buying my vacation a couple glasses of wine.
Yeah, there you go.
My wife, she's not like a procrastinator. She doesn't drag her feet, but she's always, one more thing. One more thing. And it's a source of constant tension. And you can hear it in my voice already. My blood pressure's already rising. My eyelids won't shut right now. So what an airport divorce is having just different travel schedules. If your wife wants to get there early, good on you.
Let her get there
Let
early.
her go. I'll tell you what, I'll take a train. I'll meet you. Then if I'm not there, I'm not there. I'll get there on the next flight. It's people
But you're sitting on the plane next to each other, right?
Yeah.
So like you're both arriving at the same destination, which is to get there.
Yeah, and we're both getting there with better peace of mind because our style hasn't driven the other one crazy.
I could see how that might have some value. I mean, is that kind of like people who sleep in separate bedrooms?
Yes, exactly. It's a happy marriage because this one actually gets to sleep. Doesn't woken up with snores all night. Doesn't have somebody rolling over and taking all the blankets all night.
In both of these cases, I can
and
tell
then,
you.
love them ups are like a date.
Yeah.
It's a special event.
I can
see.
see.
You're laying there. We might as well. It's not that.
I see the merit.
Yeah.
I will say this. In both of these cases, My wife would not be cool with that.
Not for you.
She's not going to be cool with me sleeping in the guest room. You know, just because I can get better sleep.
Nothing to sneaking in on you. Yeah, there's an upside.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Anytime I travel for work or something and I'm by myself and I am sleeping in a hotel room by myself.
It's wonderful, right?
Heaven.
Right?
Yes. But not going to happen for my marriage.
Do you travel well together?
It doesn't really matter. If she's traveling well, then we're all traveling well.
No, thank you. Oh, God, I thought it was just me. I've told you our story. My wife flies first class. I don't.
That's odd to me. I'll be honest. That's a little odd to me.
Well,
you should just fly first class with her.
Well,
it's very expensive.
It's very expensive. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that she's up
Well,
there.
I understand it. Then.
I'm okay with the
you guys
kids
are already
back in
sitting
steerage.
separately on the plane.
We're sleeping in different beds. Who cares? We're sitting in separate rows on the plane.
Yeah,
That's the least of my worries.
That makes a lot more sense.
And you know, and I appease her need to be. My wife. It's funny. She gets very anxious about travel. You'd think that she was, you know, and she prepares.
Sure. But in her own way.
Yeah, but in her mind, planes not leave without me. I'm like, oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, actually, they will.
Oh, yes, they will. There have been instances in our life where we get there plenty early. We get seats at the gate here, at the gate, right? And
What's
we're waiting.
plenty early?
Oh, you know, you're at the gate an hour and 50 minutes before they board.
That's a long
time.
That's insane.
Right? That's okay because you don't know and you prepare for the worst. If it doesn't happen, you're pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I can read. I can watch.
Are you
on my
knitting
phone.
a blanket before the flight? An hour 15?
I do scarves. I can get one done a flight. No.
Okay.
But my wife will start wandering and shopping. She'll go cruise the concourse.
Yeah.
Right. Meanwhile, they're started to board our flight.
Well,
she doesn't care because she's got a first class seat. I got to go back in steerage and fight for overhead compartment space.
You've already given your own answer to your question, like how to solve this problem. You're getting there too early with your wife. She's wandering off. Just get there on time and don't give her space to wander off. You've got to keep them corralled in a very specific way.
That's cool. Here,
my wife does the same thing.
Hold on.
Tell her I said that.
No, I'm telling her. You're telling her.
Don't. No.
Hey, honey.
Bad advice.
Yeah, I'm
bad
sorry
advice.
about you. Jake wants to say something. There have been moments where they're closing the door and she's wandering down. Here she comes with a couple of shopping bags and a coffee, and I'm waving her. And she's.
Have you been the overhead announcement before?
Oh yeah.
Jeez Louise. That's
late.
Yeah. That's very late. That's very late. That's too late. That would stress me out. Absolutely. All right. Well, I don't normally condone divorces, but an airport divorce
might be the thing for
some
you.
people. It might be the thing that saves your marriage. We have a lot more coming up. We're going to talk to Kent Liu. He's the president of Seattle's Police Officers Guild. Next, they have a response to Katie Wilson, Mayor Katie Wilson in Seattle, shutting off all the security cams. We'll tell you about it next. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, where you hear the John Curley Show, afternoons 2 to 7.
So the places that you want to be throughout the entire year. You want to be in Vermont for the fall. You want to be in Washington, D.C. for the cherry blossoms. And then you want to be in Seattle for about 6 weeks to enjoy a summer that you will tell everyone is the most beautiful place in the world to be. For the World Cup happening right here, it's perfect.
The John Curley Show. Subscribe to KIRO Newsradio on YouTube and watch live or later.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new sponsor to the show. I'm very excited to welcome Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here. I want to jump right into something that you guys offer that is such a benefit to anybody out there looking for a vehicle. You guys have 48-hour used vehicle exchange. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Well, basically, we want to take the fear out of buying a pre-owned vehicle. So we give you 48 hours. You take the car home, you decide if you like it. And if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you bring it back, and we try to find you something you do like.
All right. So let's say a scenario. I see something I love. I'm worried that it's not going to be there next time. So I jump on it real fast. And then I get it home to my garage, and it doesn't fit. I can bring it back?
You can bring it back, and we'll find you something that does fit. It just takes all the fear out of it. There's no more guilty feelings. You don't have to be stuck with it for 5 years or 10 years. You bring it back, we find you something that works.
Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. Make this the summer you start to relax and feel better right in your own home. During our All-American Soak, Swim, and Sauna event, enjoy liberating savings on a saltwater hot tub, swim spa, or sauna, with up to 3 years to pay for it interest-free. A soak or swim under the stars, a sauna after a long day. Celebrate feeling better today. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. military says it's launched another round of strikes against Iranian targets in retaliation for Iran firing on ships in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. President Trump warned before leaving the NATO summit that the U.S. could carry out more strikes. He also says he does not think the war with Iran will ramp up again. A federal appeals court in Washington rejected a request to set aside a lower court order keeping President Trump's name off the Kennedy Center.
The appeals court panel says the Kennedy Center's leadership has failed to show how the center's being harmed by a lower court order directing that Trump's name be removed from the facade. The three-judge panel also shrugged off the administration's suggestion that not calling it the Trump Kennedy Center will negatively affect its fundraising. The judges say the president and his handpicked board have, quote, failed to support this assertion with any specific facts or evidence.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. On Wall Street today, stocks ended mixed over new Mideast tensions. This is ABC News. There are growing bipartisan concerns over the status of Republican Senator Mitch McConnell's health. A spokesperson confirming the 84-year-old was admitted to the hospital on June 14th. Now McConnell's wife, Elaine Chao, is speaking out.
She went on a trip to China, as far as we are aware, prior to this medical episode of McConnell's. Her presence sparked a lot of rumor on social media. Frankly, a lot of this has sparked a lot of rumor on social media. She has now issued a statement to our affiliate, WHAS, in Louisville, Kentucky, and it says, in part, quote, the secretary was on a long-planned trip to China. During the trip, she met with a number of people, and then she goes on to say that, quote, the senator's health did not warrant an immediate return to the U.S.
ABC's Jay O'Brien. New details emerging about the Ohio family after 16 children were removed from the home due to deplorable conditions. One of the defendants, Gary Siders Sr., has been waived bail due to a medical issue. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Searching for a person of interest in two separate homicides in the South Sound. But first, we go to the real-time traffic desk. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. And right now, the major corridors, it's the usual Wednesday afternoon push. I-5 through downtown, a little heavy in both directions. between Northgate and the West Seattle Bridge. But other than that, the map is actually in very fine shape. Renton to Puyallup right now, taking you about 30 minutes. Just some minor slowdowns between Renton and Bellevue through the S-curves. Other than that, though, we are in great shape. Lake Bridge is wide open. Tacoma to Olympia, nothing slowing you down. And Everett to Seattle is actually all green on the map right now. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows, get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Police and deputies looking for a man connected to 2 homicides in the South Sound. The first at a home in Puyallup where a 35-year-old man was killed before 3 this morning. About 30 minutes later in Tacoma, police say a man was shot and killed near the Hillsdale area. Tacoma PD, Shelby Boyd tells KIRO 7 TV.
It's a residential neighborhood. There's cameras everywhere, fortunately. So we're waking neighbors up, asking what they saw, if they have cameras, what they may know.
They've identified 24-year-old Hayes McLeod as a person of interest, saying he's believed to be armed and dangerous. See a photo of McLeod on mynorthwest.com. Seattle man now facing felony charges after prosecutors say he attacked a King County Metro bus with a machete. Charging documents show Daniel Couch tried to board a bus near 4th and Jackson last Thursday. The driver did not let him on, though, saying he recognized Couch from a previous incident. Prosecutors allege Couch then used the machete to smash the bus windows and windshield. His bail was set at $30,000. 14-year-old boy is dead after an electric bike accident here in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
The 14-year-old was attempting to ride an e-bike down a steep staircase at Colonnade Park, a popular mountain bike course underneath I-5. Police say the teenager lost control and suffered severe injuries to his head and body and died at the scene. E-bikes are no longer considered a bike, but actually a motorcycle in our state if it's more powerful than 750 watts and can propel a rider more than 28 miles per hour. Just this year, a child on an e-bike was left in critical condition in Kirkland after colliding with a car, and now, tragically, in Seattle, a young teenager has lost his life. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Heat wave building over the northern plains could push into the Pacific Northwest by late this month. Federal forecasters warned today. Brad Pugh is with the NOAA Climate Prediction Center.
This obviously has, drought implications, impacts coming up.
He says vegetation across the Cascades is drier than officials have ever recorded. Fire managers say it's only going to get worse by month's end, right as peak fire season hits. Now to your forecast. We are seeing cloudy skies for this afternoon and just a few light spotty showers today. Sun breaks and cooler conditions as the afternoon goes on. Right now, low 70s in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. I'm very excited. We've got a great interview right now, live in studio. We have Kent Liu, who is the president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild. Kent, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. The reason we asked you in today, Kent, is because, let me give you a little breakdown for the listening audience. The day after the World Cup, which is just the day after the World Cup finally ended here in Seattle. It was after the U.S. lost to Belgium. Is that right, Spike?
Just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
And within 24 hours of Seattle's part of World Cup 2026 coming to a conclusion.
Katie Wilson, Mayor of Seattle, made an announcement. She says that the stadium cameras that had only gone on after a tremendous amount of public pressure. Do you remember?
Welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you to Spike.
Yeah.
She was not
and
going
others, to be fair, and others.
She was hesitant to turn those cameras on, and then all these
dug her feet in.
All these news stories came out, and they were like, "Listen, we're the only host city who is going to have massive amounts of people in town, and we're going to have no way of tracking in case anything happens. I mean, we need some real time stuff." So they set up this real time crime center, and you had something like 50 agencies involved. You have FBI. You have, crazy stuff.
Federal, state, county, local.
State,
everybody was telling the mayor.
you got to do this. This is the smart thing to do. Yeah. So she did it. Thankfully, she listened to reason. And then the day after, she said, forget that reason. We're turning these off. Yeah. And until we do an internal audit to find out whether or not any of this information has been, is it safe? Has any of it made its way out?
The mayor's complaint
the federal government gotten any of it?
That's the mayor's complaint, consternation. Yes. That's her threshold, or whether or not the cameras are a good idea. If the privacy of Seattle citizens, which I understand she's tasked to protect.
She's about privacy. That's what she's saying.
That's what she's saying. And it's about, whether it's regard to immigration enforcement or, even birthright tourism was mentioned in her concerns. That people who come to Washington State seeking reproductive rights, reproductive freedom, that this information can be then garnered. And
she's got a lot under her purview.
She's got a lot going on. Well, this is the city of Seattle. So they're worried about that information also being shared with federal outside forces. So it's about privacy for the mayor.
So that's what she's saying. She's saying it's about privacy. Seattle Police Officers Guild President Kent Liu, you have a strong opinion on this, whether or not she should have these cameras on. And you posted about this, and that's why I asked you to come in today. What's your take on this? Should she turn those cameras off, or should they be kept on?
Well, I think they should be turned on. I don't know of any evidence to suggest that there's a breach in the system, right, to suggest that, the feds are kind of looking in or overseeing anything at all.
Sure.
And this is a force multiplier for us as police and law enforcement. And I think coupled with the other things that we're struggling with in this city, I think these are the tools that we need to really our goals should be protecting the most productive and the most vulnerable.
Sure.
So I understand the privacy concerns, and I appreciate that. But right now, I mean, we're catching criminals. We're holding people accountable. And we're holding, these are sometimes the only witnesses we have to these crimes.
We were just in the top of the hour news break there. You heard Aaron Granillo telling us about that ongoing manhunt for somebody who's suspected in, is it two
homicides?
Two
separate
homicides.
Yeah.
And so they're asking people locally. They're saying, hey, does anybody have like ring cams? Do we have any information that we can help get to local law enforcement to try to find what could be a very, very dangerous individual if he is guilty of these crimes that they are suspecting him of? So they can be very effective in helping catch people. But the surveillance part, Katie Wilson's kind of saying like, well, this is about surveillance. It's about making sure the big brother's not peeking in on people's lives. What's your response to that?
I mean, could they not be using the ring cameras? Could they not be using any of the other cameras? It's not that these cameras are the only technology that the city has. I mean, there's just going to be canvassing for more, right? For private cameras, for business cameras, for things like that. So I understand from that perspective, like these are the cameras that she controls, right, and that she can turn off. But the reality is, it's just causing more work for officers, for detectives.
Well, it's
to go find these cameras.
As you said, taking one of the most useful tools law enforcement has is surveillance. And I hate the idea of a nanny state, of a big brother watching everything we do, but that cat is out of the bag. The cameras, to your point, there's ring cameras everywhere. The people who collect information on ring cameras, when Savannah Guthrie's mom was abducted, they were able to reach into private companies that have surveillance units and get that information.
Yeah.
It was volunteered in that particular case.
Those companies helped, I believe.
Those companies helped,
that situation.
But this information is all being, it's not they have to go to door and download your doorbell. They're all being stored somewhere.
Sure.
All these cameras. If the mayor's been given reassurances from local legislators that the safeguards she's concerned with, the protection she's concerned with, the safeguards are in place, then I don't understand her rationale.
Why can't we walk and chew gum at the same time? Why can't we have the cameras open and up and operational, collecting that data, but also conducting an audit at the same time?
Sure.
So recently, we just had a conviction through King County, because some of it was felony, where the cameras were literally the only witness we had to get convictions. So what we had here is we had a domestic violence situation where the victim was too scared to come forward. The cameras, the case went forward because of the cameras. Because of RTCC cameras, about this woman being stalked and chased down. This guy's chasing her through red lights and everything else. So I think there's like 17 camera angles or whatever, 17
traffic lights, things like that.
Traffic lights, whatever was supplied of the evidence of this. So here we have a case where this person being stalked and run down, she's too scared to come forward. We didn't need her to.
But without those cameras, that guy's still on the loose, on the streets, on her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this question. So Katie Wilson kind of gives in to the public pressure, as she should have, to turn these things on for the World Cup. And immediately after, she turns them off. Like, who in her ear is advising her on this, where she feels the need to shut these cameras off? Like, who is she listening to? Who is she trying to appease? Because I can't figure out from a reasonable perspective, there's a lot of stuff that happens in those areas. And it's like very highly trafficked. There's still games that happen. There's Mariners games. There's going to be Seahawks games again.
Right.
So the idea that these cameras wouldn't be on doesn't really make sense to me.
Well, and you just turned them on for our international guests?
Well,
but not for the people that live here every day?
Yes. So that's like, who is she trying to appease by doing this, and who is she afraid of offending by keeping them on?
Well, I think, her rationale that a credible threat was established by the various law enforcement agencies you mentioned earlier, 50 different agencies.
I have the statement here. She says these particular cameras were only turned on for the duration of the FIFA World Cup in Seattle because of its high profile and the unique circumstance surrounding the event.
Well, I think there's a credible threat of downtown safety in that. To your point, in that district, there's crimes happen down there. People are down there all the time. Is a ball game not enough of an event, special event? Is a concert at the stadium or the event center not enough of an event to merit using the tools to keep the citizenry safe? So the mayor's got to commit to the privacy, protecting privacy, also protecting safety.
I feel like
protecting property.
I understand the privacy thing. I feel like that's almost more of a hide behind thing, where she's actually doing it for an ulterior motive, but she's saying that this is about Big Brother privacy. I don't know that that's totally the case.
Well,
but
I think it may be rooted in the administration's specifically immigration efforts, because they had said they were asked by FIFA not to use ICE as an immigration tool, enforcement tool at World Cup events. I think that particularly made World Cup the event. But I would prefer, or I would offer to the mayor that anytime you're asking people to trust your city to come in and gather and spend and enjoy their time in your city, that's enough event to merit their protection.
If you have a privacy concern over these cameras, and if you have the stadium events and things that are a concern, all right, let's be consistent. Turn off all the cameras.
Totally.
Not that I'm a proponent of that,
totally
right?
Agree.
Obviously, but why is it just these cameras? Why even come in and say, well, I'm going to pause the expansion? No, if you're that concerned about this, shut them all off.
I agree. I mean, they're on in the CID.
Mm-hmm.
They're on Aurora Avenue. They're on everywhere else in town.
Yep.
Those cameras are still on. I'm worried that the audit is going to show her give her the rationale,
the latitude to turn them all off. Here's the other thing. These cameras, they might be catching crimes. They're not catching tickets, and they're not making money for the city. And they're not turning those cameras off. There's a bunch of school zone cameras. I'm all for school zone cameras. I'm fine with people wanting to make sure that people have the motivation to not drive quickly through school zones.
Yeah.
I want to keep the kids safe. But they have a lot of cameras who are also, we did the story the other day. Think about all the cameras on the roads protecting people who are driving, road workers.
Through work
It's like
zones?
85,000 tickets last year written by these work zone cameras, or all the toll cameras that are capturing license plates nonstop during hours of operation, obviously, but nonstop. Every single second, they're snapping pictures. Why aren't those turned off?
Revenue.
But
there is an indirect impact on revenue with these cameras, RTCC, in that you need, as I said, to protect the most productive and the most vulnerable, right? So keeping crime low, allowing businesses to function, that is an indirect connection to revenue.
100%.
Right? We need a business-friendly city. We need a diverse tax base, and we need businesses flourishing to pay and fund for all these programs that she wants to run and things like that. So there is an indirect connection to revenue that we should be paying attention to.
It's not even indirect. It's just got to open your eyes and see it. We talked at the beginning of the week that now that World Cup is over, will Seattle be able to maintain this, showroom new Seattle that we put on for World Cup? This, roll at the welcome mats, as good as we're ever going to be. It was a beautiful, perfect city for World Cup. Can the city maintain that?
Fleeting glimpse.
For one brief, shining moment, the city called Camelot. Right. Can we maintain that? Well, to your point, let's keep a safe, productive business district downtown. And to do that, you need all the tools law enforcement has at their disposal to be in place.
Isn't it ironic that the city got clean because of cameras, It got clean because there's this international spotlight that gets placed on the city, and everybody's like,
and
hey, you know
not
what?
Just surveillance cameras, TV cameras.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
TV cameras.
yes.
Suddenly everybody's like, hey, let's make a good impression so that people want to come back here and spend money. How is that any different than what's happening right now? And the very first thing that she wants to do is turn off cameras in the vital areas where businesses are fleeing. And I know I'm like emphasizing that word in the wrong way, but they are going away. 37% of office space downtown is vacant. We talked about this earlier in the week.
I think the way they're doing it, you can make
zombie
make
towers.
fleeing a 3-syllable word the way they're doing
They
it.
are fleeing.
Yeah, and the answer isn't increasing revenue, increasing taxes to increase revenue.
Yeah,
No, it's increasing revenue.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen after this audit comes out? If we could make a prediction, and I don't know if you're even in a position or
I can
allowed
predict.
to
I'm in the prediction business, but I'd love to hear Kent's take on this.
Exactly.
Well, again, I've seen no evidence to suggest that there's a problem, there's a breach, right? I mean, I think this is becomes more of a personal thing.
Sure.
For her, or the administration.
To a constituency.
Yeah.
It's funny you say because one of the quotes we have from a story from KIRO, and the quote I'm gonna try not to butcher this too badly. The constituency that got the mayor elected is going to be the constituency that holds the mayor accountable. These are the keep the cameras off crowd, and I think the constituency that got the mayor elected, if that's going to keep after the mayor, is going to be the constituency that guarantees the mayor is a one-term mayor.
So you think if she doesn't turn these cameras off, they're just going to kick her out? Is that what you're saying? Like the people who got her elected are saying, like, you do what we want.
If she
gone, lady.
Well, no, that's not enough to keep her in office. She's made too many enemies and made too many mistakes, I think, already out of the gate.
Do you think that? What do you think about that, Kent? Do you think that she's just playing to her base, and is that a good strategy?
Yeah, I think she's playing to her base, but again, I think we briefly touched on it just before the show, is that you can probably, like I said, I think Spike said it, you can cast a wider net, right? So you can kind of leave maybe the outliers and come across as more moderate, more reasonable. And I think part of that is turning on these cameras, right? Allowing prosecutors to gather this evidence. This helps everybody. You have an understaffed police department. That helps us, right? Gather evidence and put all this in. Helps prosecutors. They're understaffed. And why would you not want to hand this irrefutable evidence to prosecutors? Cases go faster. They don't go to trial.
Yeah.
That saves money, right? A lot of work hours.
It's efficient use of the limited resources.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's really interesting because, like, Kent, you are an expert on this. I would consider you an expert. You're a law enforcement. You have been in law enforcement for years. You're now the president of Seattle Police Officers Guild. We're talking to Kent Liu right now. When you talk to, like, the average police officer in Seattle, when they read that the mayor is turning these cameras off, are there some that are pleased with this news, or like what's the general consensus?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a hindrance. I know of some detectives who found out because they went to access a camera and it was off in the
like,
stadium
how am I
district.
supposed to do my job?
Yeah. So that's how they found out, not through the news.
I would assume that in general, most police would recognize that this is such a vital tool and that it needs to be kept on and that they want it kept on. But we're not hearing that from somebody like Sean Barnes, whose job it is to report to Katie Wilson, right? Have we heard from Sean Barnes on this? What he thinks on this?
I think he's made comments about the cameras.
He likes the cameras.
I think he likes the cameras.
Okay.
Right.
So why is it then, if there's no evidence to turn them off, then why is it, and if all the law enforcement officials, like Katie Wilson, obviously when you get elected to a position like this, and she clearly doesn't have like a massive background for this, we all know that, we all understand that, that's fine. I think her prior job was as a, what did she do? She was like there was a bus union that she started.
Transit Riders Union.
And her husband bakes bread. Not people who generally are like leading cities. That's fine. I'm not trying to besmirch them in any way. I'm just saying that she doesn't have the resume. Your job then is to seek counsel from people who know what they're doing. So you want to surround yourself with as many people. We were talking about this earlier with the Iran stuff.
Yeah.
And Trump and all the negotiating stuff.
Right. Fill the room with smarter people than you and listen to what they say.
Shouldn't her job be to say, hey, you know what? Law enforcement experts, what do you think of this? Like, I would imagine like almost 10 out of 10. You guys would all say, keep the cameras on, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody would say shut them down. It does give us an advantage. It is a multiplier. And as we've seen in this recent case, they actually are unbiased witnesses. And it stands in court. Right, we've proven that now.
But I think the mayor's already had that information from those sources that this is a tool they need and they use.
Yeah, you're right.
I think what the mayor's going to need to get is reassurances or guarantees from a legislative perspective that your concerns have been addressed. The safeguards you feel you need are in place.
So you think she's waiting for this audit, and the audit will provide her the cover to say that the cameras are fine, I can leave the cameras on.
And we're not going to share it. We're not going to store it. We're not going to keep. We're going to keep it for a limited amount.
But I thought that they had already done that. Didn't we have a whole legislative session where Bob Ferguson came out and said, like, hey, we're going to make sure that these cameras don't get yada yada and go to whoever.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that the audit shows the mayor that's already in place. Your concerns are unwarranted. Give the police the tools they need to do the job and keep the city safe, to fulfill your responsibility, your commitment to Seattle.
How long does this audit go?
But that speaks to the inconsistency of this all, right? Then get in office and say, I have these concerns. That's why I'm shutting all of them off. I'm conducting this audit, right? And then I'm going to, once this audit comes clear, I'm going to turn them all on.
Well, I think it should be it's got to be an all or nothing.
Right? That would be more consistent.
Yeah, because they're still on in the CID, right?
Right. CID,
they're still
Aurora
on in wherever else, Aurora.
The Pimp War Rally. Yeah.
We want to catch videos of people breaking the law and catch them.
As Ken said, the only evidence we have often are these cameras.
Yeah.
So this inconsistency is demonstrating that they work, right? We use them, I need them, but I've got to appeal to this base, right? And I can't go full send.
It does not bode well for keeping the cameras on. I do think there's a very good chance where no matter what the audit comes back, she just says, hey, you know what? We're keeping these ones off.
See, now I feel it's going to go the other way. I feel the audit's going to come in and she's going to open, to Ken's point, if you lose a portion of a fringe of your base that you're appeasing with these cameras being shut down, if you lose a segment of those, you're going to get a much wider, moderate support from the community that wants a safer community. There's far more people worried about being able to do their jobs, run their business, raise their families in the city than there were people worried about people's privacy being invaded.
There's far more upside for her.
That's it. Yeah.
For that administration.
To keep them.
Keep them to be a little more moderate, to lose maybe some of her base.
Sure. There's more upside,
but to appeal to the business owners, keeping the streets clean, things like that, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you bet. Prosperous.
Only time will tell. Kent Liu, Seattle Police Officers Guild President, thank you for coming in and making the time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. When we come back, Spike, what do we got coming up?
Well, you told me why it's okay for a movie to run for almost 3 hours.
Oh yes, this is interesting.
I'm befuddled. What movie makers are expecting of my bladder.
Let's really lighten it up for a second.
Okay.
We've done enough heavy stuff. We've done the Strait of Hermes. We've done Graham Plattner, although there's much more to say on Graham Plattner, which I'm sure will play out throughout the week. But we'll talk movies next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the fourth highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks! They're bringing it home again!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. I am so excited to tell you about a new advertiser on the show, and I want to start with a message for plumbers, roofers, electricians, contractors, landscapers, delivery drivers. We can't do any of this without you. And like you, Sunset Auto means business, literally. Sunset Auto family carries full commercial vehicle lines from both Chevrolet and Ford, but here's what separates them from everyone else. Commercial vehicles qualify for repairs for life. Let that sink in for a second. Commercial trucks routinely rack up 100,000, 200,000, even 300,000 miles. Any qualifying repair over $250, guaranteed for life, for as long as you own the vehicle. How is that for a business partner? That's amazing. Talk to Lisa at Sunset Chevrolet or Aaron and Chris at Sunset Ford. They'll walk you through everything. Honestly, it's hard to imagine buying a Ford or a Chevy commercial vehicle anywhere else once you truly understand what this program means for your bottom line. Sunset Ford, Sunset Chevrolet, and Sumner, you just get more at Sunset. And commercial vehicle owners, protected for life, and business owners like you do like that.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.premera.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. New strikes on Iran hours after President Trump said the ceasefire is over.
To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them and with this scum.
ABC's Selena Wang has more from the White House.
President Trump had previewed that there would likely be more U.S. military action today. The president saying the U.S. would probably strike Iran, quote, hard again. We don't know exactly the targets in this statement. They are saying that this is in order to degrade their ability to threaten freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz.
Shipping traffic in the strait is again at a halt, driving oil prices up more than 6% to their highest level in about 2 weeks. Douglas County Sheriff now believes the Chelan Hills fire was started by a person, and it is now the focus of a criminal investigation. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu reports some of the hundreds of firefighters on scene will soon be moving on.
Fire officials say they expect to finish up their work here by Saturday morning. The sheriff says this morning he sent out search and assessment crews to find any unknown victims of the fire.
Fire killed at least one person and destroyed 19 homes. Latest update showed it was at 50% contained after burning nearly 9,800 acres. Costco is facing another proposed class action lawsuit, this time over organic protein powder sold in its stores. It alleges Costco sold Orgain's plant-based protein powder, knowing it contained unsafe levels of heavy metals while being marketed as clean and nutritious. Seattle Times reports attorneys cited an independent lab test, claiming Costco failed to disclose the risks. Company has not yet responded to those allegations. Washington high school seniors could soon face new graduation requirements. State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl is proposing a year-long course designed to prepare students for life after high school.
They're asked to fill out applications. They're asked to fill out agreements of debt, whether it's a car, whether it's their first rental, whether it's going to school on a home loan, credit card debt. There's a ton of things that students are exposed to that we just think we can finally help with.
He tells KIRO Radio's Gian Ursula the proposal is still under review by the State Board of Education. If approved, lawmakers would still need to sign off. Now let's go to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk. This report is brought to you by Seattle Sports, and the map starting to build a little bit ahead of the afternoon rush. Looking at about a 45-minute trip now from Seattle to Everett. Linwood to Seattle about 25 minutes. And Renton to Puyallup, 30 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 20 minutes either way. Lake Bridge is still wide open for now. Same with Tacoma to Olympia both ways. Slight slowdowns, though, again on 167 right around Kent and Auburn heading southbounds between Renton and Puyallup. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial. Head to 97.3 HD2. Your forecast now, looking at still mostly cloudy skies, starting to burn off a little bit, though, this afternoon. Highs today topping out in the low 70s. Up to 68 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike and I both love movies. We're going to talk about movies for a couple minutes. There was an interesting article. Did you see this article about they asked a bunch of people they did a survey of 2,000 U.S. adults, and they said, what's the perfect length for a movie that you would actually sit down and watch from start to finish? Because a lot of people just get up, because you can now because of streaming. You can just stop it wherever you want.
And they cite that as one of the reason people came to this number. This numerical the conclusion. Sorry,
people came to this number?
This number.
Is it a misnomer that people arrived at this number?
Factually, yes.
What is the perfect length movie for you?
Study says 88 minutes is the length of a perfect movie according to 2,000 people surveyed. For these 2,000 people surveyed.
What about for Spike? Let's round you out.
If Jacob asked me this off air just casually, and without any kind of context, or I could pre-design my answer to fit a narrative, I said an hour 40, hour 45 is perfect for me.
Yeah. So it's 100 minutes.
Yeah, 100, 105 minutes is perfect for me. It's funny, when I love a movie, I don't care how long it goes. Some movies I want to go longer.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that there's been this trend toward movies being 2 hours is nothing anymore for these movie makers.
So here's the thing. What used to lock people into specific length movies, like when we think of movies, we generally think of like an hour and a half.
Right.
You sit down for an hour and a half. And the reason that they got to that originally was because distribution. you had to show them in a movie theater. And movie theaters have to make money, and you want turnover.
Right.
You can only show so many movies if they're really long. You can show more movies if they're shorter. But too short, people feel like they're not, worth the value of paying the money to go in and buy the popcorn and all the extras, which is where movies make their money.
Right.
So what they said was, let's call it an hour and a half, 95 minutes, something like that. So that's what the typical length was. But then with streaming, you can now have people making very long movies. They're not limited anymore because it's not really anything extra for them to put it up on a platform. You can go to HBO Max and watch a long movie, and they don't have to get in a fight with theater owners about making sure that it's too long.
Yeah.
But people's attention span has also taken a huge hit because we're also used to like just having stuff instantly.
I can't believe we watch anything longer than 45 seconds anymore.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
No, so you said you can stop it. You
can
get up,
stop
go to
it.
the bathroom, go get some more popcorn at home.
We recently watched, did you see Hail Mary, the Ryan Reynolds movie?
Project Hail Mary. I haven't yet. You know why I haven't? Because it's 2.5 hours long.
It's very long.
I want to watch it with the missus.
Yeah.
But she's like, I didn't have time.
I don't have time. So we split that movie in two. So we watched it with the kids. It's a movie you can actually watch with the family, which is nice. Even though there are 10 scenes where he's trying to accomplish space stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a family-friendly movie. My kids can't sit for 2.5 hours. And I don't want to sit in a room with my kids for 2.5 hours. So we split the movie in half and we watched it over 2 nights, and that was nice. But I like a long movie. I love like settling in and being lost in a world. And my ideal length movie, if it's good, I want it to be more than 3 hours.
Wow.
Which people hear and they go, hey, that's nuts. You're crazy.
Wow.
But you think about like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember watching Lord of the Rings?
Sure.
Do you remember the feeling of just sitting down going like,
want more?
I got 3 hours and 12 minutes of this.
More, yeah.
Is you're sitting there and the Shire music is kicking off and you're just like, I get to be in this world. I get to see him running from the Nazgul or whatever for 3.5 hours. I want director's cut.
Right. That's cut down.
Yeah.
I remember reading the books and all of a sudden realizing that it's morning. I remember getting in my bed and reading Lord of the Rings, and next thing you know, I'm turning pages. And next thing you know, the sun's up and my alarm's going off, and it's time to go to school.
Yes.
And with a good story, 3.5 hours is nothing. It zips by. You want more. By.
And then there are some movies that are so horrible that 88 minutes or 82 minutes, sometimes they'll release something theatrically that's like so short, and you're just like, that this is as much as they could stretch this out.
Yeah.
This is an hour 20, which is like, you can actually do this. You can go and you can look at a movie's screen time that they list, whatever the running length is. If it's less than 85 minutes, it's going to be a disaster because they didn't have enough footage to make a full-length good movie, so they just threw some crap in there.
So I asked you this before the show, and you told me you'd share on air. Are these 2.5-hour movies? Is this an ego play?
A lot of it.
Are these directors just like, I got a story to tell, and I'm going to blah, 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 or I spent all this money. We spent $25 million to blow that building up. It's getting in the movie.
It's getting in there. Yes, absolutely. Or they feel like, the audience just couldn't possibly understand this if we don't show this massive CGI thing that we spent a ton of money. Now, those prices are all coming way down because they do have all this AI stuff now.
Yeah.
So that is an interesting part of it. But yes, you're right. Like a lot of it is just hubris of the director who maybe has too much power.
Yeah.
And, his cut contractually is what they have to show. And there are some directors like that, like who can basically say, like, whatever I say, you have to release.
So you're in the industry. I know you've written professionally.
Yeah.
You've got projects in play right now.
Yeah.
Does the editor have more power over the director in most cases? And you got to be like the guy to have power over an editor?
No. But a studio will step in and say, we need it to be this length of time, or we want to make sure that it depends on who the director is, obviously, but like directors are going to be working with an editor. They're going to sit down, like an editor's going to cut their version, and then the director's going to say, like, I really want it to look like this.
This is the story I'm trying to tell. This is what needs to be in there. And the editor's going to say why.
If it's a good director, they're going to be, of course, they're completely involved in that process. Yeah.
Okay.
But I love long movies. I can't get enough of if it's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
If it's a good movie. What's your favorite long movie to sit down and just luxuriate in?
Oh.
And if it's Lord of the Rings, that's
Godfather.
Godfather's great.
Long movie.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now. When the Redo came out.
Yeah.
And it was even longer. I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
I wish the Vietnam War had lasted this long. I kid. You said something, though, that there used to need to be turnover. Yeah. You had to get people in there every 2.5 hours because people want to. Is the fact that less people are going to the cinema, does it also give directors license to, we only need to show this 3 times a day as opposed to 6 times a day?
Well, it would depend. Like, you look at those Avatar movies. Those Avatar movies are super long.
2.5 hours mostly, yeah.
But they also they're counting on that being a big draw to the Disney Plus platform. And so they can release those at any length they want. James Cameron, actually, those are his movies. Obviously, he's stuck in Avatarville.
Where he just swims in money.
Just swims in money, yeah. So when he made Titanic, that movie was so long that they were worried that nobody was going to want to show it because it wasn't a hit before they released it. Obviously, they didn't know what it was going to be like. And there was many times during production where they thought that was going to be a flop. And so when the movie finally got cut down to whatever it ended up being, it was
I hear the ship sank in faster time than the movie let it.
That's right.
So,
they were like, can we change the ending where they just arrive on time and then everybody can get out of the theater? What he originally did, this is like an anecdotal story, but I heard him tell the story once where he says, in order to trick theater owners to playing the movie, because they were going to be scared away by a 2.5 hour movie, he said, let's say it's 172 minutes long or whatever the number was. We'll just put minutes. We won't put like 2.5 hours or whatever it was.
Right.
And he was kind of like the early leading person to do something like that because they all thought like, oh, well, that seems small. That
172 is not so bad. If you say it's a 3-hour movie.
If you say 3 hours, everybody goes, wait, 3 hours? That's crazy. We can't do that. We're not going to make money.
Plus cold water, you got to go.
But then people ended up seeing the movie like 7 times.
I saw it many times in the theater.
That's another one of those movies where you just want to get lost in that world because it's so well made. How many times do you see it?
Oh, I couldn't tell. That's one of those movies I've watched a dozen times, literally over the years. I saw it 3 times in the theater.
It holds up.
It really does.
It's really good.
But movies used to have intermissions. Will that ever make a comeback? I'm watching Gone with the Wind at home, right? Last summer, I think it was.
Gone with the Wind, theatrical release.
Had
I'm sorry. I had this here somewhere. It's like 4 hours something.
And there was an intermission.
Yeah.
They let everybody get up, stretch your legs, hit the bathroom, go to the concession stand, buy more popcorn.
Go get popcorn.
Why wouldn't they want to do that again?
If they can get people to go to theaters, I'm sure they'd be happy to. But getting people to go to theaters is becoming trickier and trickier these days. Which is a shame because it's a lot of fun.
Some movies need to be seen on a big screen with other people.
All right. We're going to do text messages next. It's kind of our last call for the day for your opinions on things. You can hit us up at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. We're going to do last call text messages coming in next. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from The G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
On July 18th, a week from Saturday, at the Aegis Living Ballard, my band's going to play a free show on the roof. It's going to be great. And I'm going to do some cooking. In fact, I'm going to have a cook-off with Chef Dirk. He is the president of Aegis Living, but he's also an accomplished chef. Cooking and food is one of the tenets of the quality of life at Aegis Living facilities. So Aegis is bringing in a bunch of different chefs from different locations around the Northwest. We're going to have a big cook-off. There'll be a food tasting, a wine tasting, $2,000 in raffle prizes, and it's free. And the band's going to play on the roof. The Impalers are playing, so we'd love for you to join us. Go to aegisliving.com/KIRO to find out more.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
All right, welcome back to the call, or welcome back to the show. We're trying a new segment here. It's the same thing. We're just renaming it. It's called Last Call. We're getting to your text messages, which you guys have sent to plenty. Thank you so much. Let's get right to it, Spike. Jacob, actually. Do you want to do some of these with us?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. That's I can
you don't
certainly
have to.
help. No, it's good. Yeah,
you can read, can't you?
I can. Practical life skill. Yeah,
well done. Forget about it, Ragdoll. We're all good, thanks.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I need this class.
Thank you very much.
Area code 253. Where are the parents? Why does the government think they need to do everything? All they do is screw it up. This is in relation to the practical life skills class that is being proposed.
That they're saying is so vital that if it passes, they'll start it in 5 years.
Well, we can just hold on. Brian in Olympia says, I learned all the stuff he mentioned in a business class in 9th grade. The curriculum has been watered down long ago, and the kids aren't going to learn it from parents who never learned it themselves.
That is interesting. I have no problem with them teaching things like this in school. Somebody wants to come in and speak to one of the classes. This is not like a curriculum you need a year for. You could learn how to fill out a resume in about 5 minutes. You can also learn to register to vote in about 5 minutes. You need to do it once. That's it. So you don't need a year for them to put this together. What I imagine ends up happening is that they say, hey, you know what? Let's do a committee. Let's decide how we're going to do all these things. Let's spend $150 million figuring out just how to do the curriculum.
Right.
And then we'll still not have kids who learn how to read or write or do math by the time they're in 8th grade.
Well, we did have someone who wrote in trying to explain why it takes so long. This is, I believe Rick said something about this during the interview. Basically, if you're going to require it, you have to start warning 9th graders. It will be required of them their senior year. He thinks they can get it done faster, though. So it's 4 years out.
I don't want to hear reason. I don't want to hear reasonable arguments. That's not what this show is about.
Glenn in SeaTac says, I'm a proud, seasoned man of 72. All my friends and I talk about how we weren't taught anything about finances. What is the controversy? Kids will be better off having this.
Glenn, there's not a controversy, for crying out loud, Glenn. I'm fine with them teaching it. I would just also like them to emphasize that they have failed at doing the core stuff before they take on extra things. That's what I would like them to do. Do the core stuff right, get to the extra things after that. I had a history teacher, Mr. Page, who in class sat down with us and he taught us about the miracle of investments. And he said, listen, every 7 years, if you invest money every 7 years, that money's going to double. And you know what? A lot of people took him up on that, probably. I was not one of them.
Get out your checkbooks. Get out your checkbooks and write me a check. I'll show you how checking works.
No, but you know what?
Everybody write me a check.
He took an interest to teach us about these things. And, there's going to be teachers who do that. And I think that's great. But let's also make sure that we're focusing on the reading and the writing and then all the extra stuff.
Well, Tara in Mill Creek says this is replacing an elective credit, not a core class. Also, they're going to talk about civics, which is a class. The voting issue that's where the voting would come into play.
Okay.
It's a civics credit. It's a financial
whatever. It sounds like you guys all love this. That's fine. If you love it so much, why don't you marry it? Jeez Louise. New York City building falling down. Steve in Seattle says, ironic that the Pfizer building is having trouble staying up.
Oh!
Steve, that might be my favorite.
If your building does stay up for more than 4 years, ask your doctor. Jack in the 253 says, that's a great joke, buddy. It's not original existing beams that are failing. It's the new beams from the addition. Oh, yeah. Okay. The new addition isn't literally stacked on the roof of the existing building. That's reporting I'd heard. There is a smaller portion of the building that is being extended to reach the roof line of the rest of the building.
Let me tell you what, it's too much explanation. I still don't understand what's happening. If you have beams in a building that's falling down, that's all I need to hear. Okay. I'm not living in that building.
Or across the street.
But nobody asked me to live in that building, and it's in New York, so it's not a problem for me. Movie lengths. Elena in 206. I saw a 4-hour Soderbergh film in San Francisco. It was shown in 2-hour sections over 2 days. It was amazing. Che was played by Benicio del Toro, who's a phenomenal actor. Yeah, I love Benicio. You watch him in Sicario. You tell me you don't love that guy.
Phenomenal.
The best parts were in the second day. It follows the assassination of Che Guevara in the Bolivian jungle. Del Toro did a great job. It was worth it to see the movie. Okay.
Read Ben from
yeah. You mean to say you guys have never sat through all 4 hours of Pride and Prejudice?
Not without two boxes of tissue movie, my friend. Those are
I have not. I don't know if I've sat through 4 hours.
Pride and Prejudice?
It's a long one. That's a lengthy one. All right, folks, that's all we got time for. Wow. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Buckle up for a hot summer. And if you have poor or no insulation in your attic, you could be losing up to 40% of your energy efficiency in your home. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing, they've got you covered. This summer, you can bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until the project's complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see that red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
How sweet it is!
50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues.
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 Seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying, but I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with.
Yes.
Because